Chapter 972. The next step was to work on the details. Su Xiaoxue was very excited to make such a strange thing. She was very busy and had a lot of fun. It took the two of them a day and a half to successfully make a wooden barrel for medicinal baths. Sir, this person sits in it, fills it with decoction, and burns it with fire, Su Xiaoxue said. That's the general process, but there are many tricks to it, Wang Yao said. The medicinal bath included a lot of pharmacological knowledge and treatment techniques. The preparation of the decoction, temperature, qi, and blood, steaming, suffocating, and even boiling. It was not as simple as just soaking in water. I'll follow and see. No problem, Wang Yao said with a smile. In a valley of thousands of medicine, thousands of miles away, Miao Zhengnan, who had returned from Lianshan, had finally recovered. Chief, how do you feel? Do you still feel uncomfortable? No, I feel completely recovered. That's good, Miaoshi River said. As they were talking, Miao Qingfeng arrived. Chief, I'll go back first. Well, have a good rest, Miaoshi River said. Chief, what can I do for you? Send someone to check out the situation there, Miaoshi River said. It can't be someone from the stockade, the small mountain village in the north, where Wang Yao is. Yes. Miaoshi River had a preliminary understanding of Miao Jingnan's situation. He was a very famous young doctor in the area. He was very good at treating patients and had a good reputation. Some people from other places also went to him for treatment. In such a short time, and in the north, which was not his territory, that was all they could find out. Okay, I'll arrange it right away. In a mountain village thousands of miles away, on Nanshan Hill, there was smoke curling up, and the smell of herbs was everywhere. In the cottage, Wang Yao was brewing decoction. The firewood was burning, and the decoction in the multifunctional pot for herbs was boiling. All the herbs were boiled out and integrated into the decoction. Wang Yao didn't need to look at the color. He could tell the degree of boiling the potion just by smelling the aroma and whether or not firewood should be added. Sir, what kind of medicine is this? It's mainly for consolidating one's foundation and nurturing one's vitality. In addition, there are two kinds of medicinal herbs for strengthening one's muscles and bones, Wang Yao said. The last time they met in the capital, the youth from the He family had been in poor health. Originally, with that kind of illness, he would have to lie down or sit down all day, not daring to exercise. As the saying goes, life depends on exercise. If a person did not exercise, their qi and blood would not flow smoothly, and their meridians would be blocked. Naturally, they would not have the energy, and their body would only get worse. Therefore, the youth's illness had to be treated first. Of course, the most important thing to take was the two spiritual herbs. Polygonum vine strengthens tendons and meridians. Iron plum blossom, flower like plum blossom, as hard as iron, strong muscles and bones. These two types of spiritual herbs were mainly used to strengthen the muscles and bones. The problem with this young man's body lay in his muscles and bones. Of course, on Nanshan Hill, there was a rich spiritual qi that the outside world did not have. Wang Yao had already properly integrated this spiritual qi into the potion. This spiritual qi was also magical and unparalleled. Is his illness easy to treat? It's not easy to treat. It will take some time, Wang Yao said. According to the current saying, this kind of illness was considered a type of terminal illness because there was no treatment at all. Of course, it was not fatal like those malignant tumors, which would erode the body in a relatively short time and kill people. However, it would make the patient unable to live a normal life. His life could be relatively short, or it could be relatively long. It doesn't matter if it takes some time, as long as there is hope, Su Xiaoxue said. When she said this, she thought of the years of suffering lying in the hospital bed. It was definitely more painful than the current situation of the youth from the He family, but she had endured it. Then, she broke out of the cocoon and became a butterfly. Now, she was enjoying a life that she did not dare to imagine. He should be able to do it too. In the morning, he only decocted this one decoction. In the morning, he took the time of the day when the vitality and yang qi were the strongest. It's done. Wang Yao poured the decoction into the white porcelain bottle. After the 8th day of the Chinese New Year, the number of patients in the clinic gradually increased. Early in the morning, two cars with Jing license plates drove into the mountain village. Several people got out of the car with things in their hands and entered the clinic. Dr. Wang, Xiaoxua, the woman said. Hello, Auntie. Su Xiaoxua hurriedly greeted the woman. Hello. Please sit down, the woman said. The teenager was still all kinds of self-satisfied. His expression was gloomy. After suffering from this disease, he had been seeking treatment everywhere over the years. The fire of hope in his heart had gradually extinguished. He did not dare to do strenuous exercise, run, or jump. He could even fracture his bones if he fell. He was like a flower carefully cultivated in a greenhouse. He could not withstand any wind or rain. What was the meaning of such a life? He had had enough. Death might be a kind of relief. Wang Yao carefully checked the teenager's body. Well, the situation is a little better than last time, Wang Yao said. Well, I don't feel any better, the teenager said. Xiao Rui, his mother hurriedly called out. It's okay, Wang Yao said with a smile. This little improvement, he really can't feel it. Ms. Zhao, let me tell you my treatment plan first, Wang Yao said. Oh, okay. Tell me about Dr. Wang, the woman said. Then, Wang Yao told the middle-aged woman about the treatment plan that he had come up with during this period of time. Okay, we will do our best to cooperate, Ms. Zhao said. In fact, over the years, she had been to many places for her son's illness and seen many famous doctors. As the saying goes, a long illness makes a good doctor. She now had considerable insight and understanding of medicine. However, it was the first time she had seen Wang Yao's magical treatment method. Well, we can treat your son in the morning, Wang Yao said. The treatment time for your son's illness may be longer. We can wait, Ms. Zhao said. Okay, Ms. Zhao said. After everything was ready, Wang Yao began to prepare the medicinal bath. He put a large number of herbs in a certain proportion into a wooden bucket. The water in the bucket was taken from Dongshan Mountain and mixed with some ancient spring water. He then heated it and boiled it. Come, drink this bowl of medicine first. Wang Yao poured a bowl of the medicine he had brewed in advance and handed it to the teenager. The young man took the medicine, and without any hesitation, he raised his head and drank the entire bowl of medicine. Over the years, he had taken all kinds of medicine. He had eaten, drunk, and applied all kinds of medicine. He had taken all kinds of medicine. He had gotten used to it. The bowl of medicine was warm, and the taste was not particularly strange. Okay, lie down. After the teenager lay down, Wang Yao quickly used a unique method to stimulate the main acupoints and meridians all over the teenager's body. Then, he used acupuncture. There was no hesitation in inserting the needles. Piercing, pinching, and lifting. Others could not see the knack. Only those with excellent medical skills could see how profound his skill was. Okay, the medicinal bath. The medicinal bath was a little hot. The teenager frowned after he went in. It was hot. Bear with it. The temperature is hot, but it won't cause any harm to your body, Wang Yao said as he reached out to test the temperature. Okay, the teenager nodded. Okay, let's continue. Here is water. Give him some to drink every 10 minutes or so. Okay, leave it to me, the middle-aged woman said. Wang Yao adjusted the temperature of the decoction from time to time to ensure that it was always within the right temperature range to achieve the best effect. The duration of the medicinal bath was relatively long. From the beginning of the decoction to the end of the medicinal bath, Wang Yao had only seen this patient for the whole day. Then it was already past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, almost 4 o'clock. Okay, this treatment is over. The second treatment will be in 3 days, Wang Yao said. Okay, the middle-aged woman said. She had arranged for people to prepare a place for them to live. The mother and son would stay there for a while. They would return to Jing when her son's illness was better. Thank you, Dr. Wang Yao. You are welcome. The treatment method was unusual, so the treatment fee was naturally very expensive. This was because Wang Yao used 5 licorice roots to make the decoction. The efficacy of the medicine was also quite strong. After the teenager came out of the medicinal bath, he only felt that his whole body was extraordinarily warm. It was the kind of warmth that was inside and out like a spring breeze. Chapter 973. Xiao Rui, how do you feel? The middle-aged woman asked softly after they got into the car. Pretty good, the young man said after a moment of silence. Ah, the middle-aged woman was stunned. Really? I really feel pretty good, the young man said. My body is warm, and I feel that I have some strength. Good, that's really good, the woman happily said. This Dr. Wang is really capable. They found the best place to stay in Lianshan County. At night, the young man lay in bed and did not sleep. Although he was very tired, he thought about a lot of things. Over the years, he had seen too many experts and received too many treatments. He knew his illness best. That day, the effect was the fastest. His body had obvious changes. It was very magical. That was what he felt. Maybe this can really cure my illness, the young man said. The hope that had been extinguished for a long time was reignited. There was hope, even if it was just a little bit, was good. The next morning, the sky was a bit gray. It's going to change. Wang Yao looked up at the sky. Change? Yes, it will snow around 1 p.m., said Wang Yao as he looked at his phone. Really? Su Xiaoxue smiled and said, I saw the weather forecast last night. There is no snow today. There is, Wang Yao said with a smile. Let's go to the clinic and have some tea. The two of them went into the clinic. Don't you feel bored like this? No, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Well, I'll go out with you in the afternoon. It's really not necessary, Su Xiaoxue said. I think it's fine as long as I'm with you. In the afternoon, I'll take you to see a place with stones everywhere, Wang Yao said with a smile. That's okay. At noon, Wang Yao's parents had been busy the whole morning. They had cooked a lot of delicious dishes. In fact, during the days that Su Xiaoxue had been there, she would cook a lot of dishes every day. She tried not to repeat the same dishes, which made Xiaoxue feel embarrassed. Auntie, you don't have to cook so many dishes. Su Xiaoxue did not know how many times she had said that. It's fine. Do you like it? I like it. I've gained a few pounds. Not fat. I can't see it at all, Zhang Xiaoying said with a smile. Mom, don't be busy. Let's eat together. I'm coming. After dinner, Wang Yao chatted with his parents for a while. Then he went out with Su Xiaoxue and drove out of the mountain village. They drove north along the highway. Where are we going? Didn't I say that I would take you to see the stones? Wang Yao said with a smile. After driving for about 15 minutes, the car left the asphalt road and entered a country road that was less than 3 meters wide. Then, it stopped at a spacious spot on the side of the road. What do you think of this mountain? Wang Yao pointed at a mountain not far away. It's really stone. Su Xiaoxue looked at the mountain in front of her in surprise. This was a mountain range made purely of stone. As far as the eye could see, other than the pine trees growing between the cracks of the rocks, there were no other trees or soil. Let's go up and take a look. Okay. There was a piece of land under the mountain range made of stone. In winter, most of it was idle and not planted. There was no obvious way. Let's go. I'll carry you there. Su Xiaoxue was stunned. Let's go. Wang Yao carried Su Xiaoxue on his back. After a few jumps, they arrived at the foot of the mountain range. Looking up from the foot of the mountain ridge was somewhat interesting. Stones, all of them were stones. Square, round, irregular. These mountain ridges were purely made up of these stones. Let's go up and take a look. Okay, don't worry. Do you remember the footwork I taught you? Yes. You could try it on this. On these stones, yes. I'll demonstrate in front. Take a good look. After saying that, Wang Yao began to move. After a few jumps, he was like an agile monkey between the steep rocks. In just a few breaths, he was halfway up the mountain. He stood there and looked down at Su Xiaoxue below. In fact, if he wanted to, he could reach the top in an instant. He suddenly became interested and wanted to teach Su Xiaoxue something interesting. Come up, slow down. Okay, I'll try, Su Xiaoxue replied. She took a deep breath and jumped more than 30 feet high. She landed on a stone and continued to jump up. After a few consecutive jumps, she suddenly lost her footing. Her body tilted. It looked like she was about to fall. At this moment, she suddenly felt a force pulling her back, and then she stood still. She turned around and found that Wang Yao was standing in front of her without her knowing when it happened. Sir, at the very beginning, don't rush. Take your time. The two of them jumped back and forth on the ridge. In fact, it didn't take long for them to reach the top of the mountain. On the mountain, the cold wind was whistling. Is it cold? No, it's not cold at all, Su Xiaoxue said. Su Xiaoxue said. After the jump, her body was still warm, and she felt very excited. It was quite exciting. Do you like it? Yes, I like it very much. Let's go. I'll take you to another interesting place. Wang Yao led the way in front. As they walked, snowflakes suddenly fell from the sky. Well, is it really snowing? Su Xiaoxue raised her wrist to look at the time. It was 5 minutes past 1. God, sir, you are amazing. It's nothing, Wang Yao said. When he had nothing to do, he often observed the celestial phenomena in the herbal field. Therefore, he was very knowledgeable about it. The sky didn't seem to have any pattern, but in fact, it was very mysterious. Once one learned the door, one would like to see the sky. That was why Wang Yao looked up at the sky every day when he was free, because he had discovered the mystery. Wind, rain, and snow are all signs. Wang Yao pointed at the snowflakes falling from the sky. The two of them walked in the snow on the steep-eye bridge. Here we are. On the top of the mountain, there was an irregular empty area between several big stones. Come on. Wang Yao waved to Su Xiaoxue. After entering the area, Su Xiaoxue was surprised to find that there was no wind. There's no wind here at all. Isn't it amazing? Yes, it is. These stones don't look magical, Su Xiaoxue said. In fact, these stones, together with the nearby mountains, block all the wind from the north, west, and east. And the south, Su Xiaoxue said. Look from here and there. The wind from the south is also blocked. So, there is no wind in this place? Basically, there is no wind. Wang Yao smiled. I have been here several times. In spring, summer, autumn, and winter, there is no wind. It is a very strange place. Wang Yao smiled. Chapter 974. It's quite magical, Su Xiaoxue said. It's a miracle created by the geographical environment, Wang Yao said with a smile. Look, there's a unique herb here. He pointed to a few dried plants between the peaks. What is this? Su Xiaoxue asked. It's huanglian. It's rare to see wild ones here, Wang Yao said. Is it the huanglian that can't be spoken of? Su Xiaoxue asked. Yes, huanglian has antibacterial, antiviral, and cathartic effects, Wang Yao said. Aren't you going to pick it? Su Xiaoxue asked. No, I have a lot of herbs to replace it, Wang Yao said. Look, they are growing between the rocks. It's not easy to pick them. Well, they are quite strong, Su Xiaoxue said. Well, I'll take you to another place. Wang Yao led the way, and Su Xiaoxue followed him. Soon, the two of them came to a rock on the east side of the mountain. It was a square rock. The top of the rock was very flat, like a big table. What do you feel here? Wang Yao asked. It's so windy, Su Xiaoxue said. There was wind in all directions. It was whistling. She couldn't stand steadily. It was completely different from the place where there was no wind at all. It's completely different from the place just now, Wang Yao said. How did you find such an interesting place? Do you see that mountain village? Wang Yao pointed to a mountain village at the south of the foot of the mountain. That's my grandmother's house, Su Xiaoxue said. I grew up in this village, so I'm very familiar with the situation here. I often came up to this mountain to play when I was a child. No wonder. In the cold weather, there were only a few pine trees on the mountain. In fact, there was nothing to play with, but Su Xiaoxue seemed to be in high spirits. The two of them walked around the mountain. Although the mountain ridge was not high, there were several connected. It was quite a large area. That mountain looks quite high. Su Xiaoxue pointed to a mountain in the north in the distance. She could see clouds floating halfway up the mountain. That mountain is called Dog Ear Mountain because it looks like a dog's ear. Look at the distance. If an ordinary person wanted to walk from here, it would take at least half a day, Wang Yao said. Really? It doesn't look very far. You want to go there? Okay. Su Xiaoxue nodded. Then let's go. Wang Yao suddenly held Su Xiaoxue in his arms. Then, he leaped up and ran through the Rocky Mountains as if he was flying. The valleys, cliffs, trees, and rivers were nothing to him. Su Xiaoxue felt extremely warm and secure in his arms. They were getting closer and closer to the mountain. It didn't take long for them to reach the foot of the mountain. It's quite high. Standing at the foot of the mountain, he raised his head and looked at the peak. Go up? All right. This time, Su Xiaoxue did not let Wang Yao carry her. The two of them went up the mountain together. The height of this mountain peak was more than twice the height of the mountain peak they were on earlier. In addition, at this time of the day, the north wind was whistling and the wind was particularly strong. However, Su Xiaoxue's hair did not move at all. There was no wind blowing on her body. All the wind was separated in front of the two of them and went around them. Phew! Su Xiaoxue opened her arms and looked around from where she was. She felt particularly comfortable. Before they knew it, the sun had set. When they went down the mountain, it was already dark. In town, in Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company. President Zheng, it's really rare to see you here. Ah, brother, I've been running around during the new year, Zheng Weijun said. I just started work, and there are still a lot of things to do. I really didn't do it on purpose. In his office, Zheng Weijun smiled and said, the reputation of your medicine is getting better and better, and the demand is increasing, Zheng Weijun said. I know, Zheng Weijun said. I'm ready to appropriately increase production after the new year. How much do you want to increase? 20%, Zheng Weijun said. How can that be enough? Zheng Weijun asked. Even if you double the production, there will definitely be more demand than supply. He was also a big agent of the medicine. The medicine had let him taste the sweetness. Therefore, he came after the new year. He wanted to talk to Zheng Weijun and increase the supply. He also wanted to maintain a good relationship with Zheng Weijun and have a long-term cooperation. I want to, but my supply of herbs can't keep up, Zheng Weijun said. What do you lack? Tell me, and I'll help you find a way. The man patted his chest and said, I've already contacted them, Zheng Weijun said. The herbs will be in place soon, but the quantity won't be increased so much all of a sudden. Besides, we're also preparing to trial the production of the second medicine. New medicine? What medicine? Zheng Weijun asked. Heat-clearing powder. Commonly used medicine? Yes, commonly used medicine. I'll order this medicine first. It hasn't gone into production yet, and it hasn't gone through the procedures yet, Zheng Weijun said with a smile. Brother, these things aren't difficult for you. After chatting for a while, the middle-aged man said goodbye and left. After seeing the guest off, Zheng Weijun stretched and said, Phew, the third one. After the new year, 3 big agents had come to visit him. The market is that good. In fact, the reputation of the medicine was very good. Whether it was in the clinic or in the hospital, the sales were absolutely good. In the People's Hospital in Lianshan County, Brother Pan, don't fool me. Come on, why would I fool you? Don't you know what kind of illness you have? Besides, you can ask around. With my master's reputation and medical skills, many people from other provinces have come to see him. Okay, you can ask when I'll go. Okay, Pan Jun called Wang Yao. Tomorrow. Okay, his colleague said. He had been feeling uncomfortable recently, but he didn't find anything wrong with his head in the hospital. He went to the city hospital for a checkup, but they didn't find anything wrong, so he didn't take it seriously. Recently, he had been hurting during the day and at night. He also had nightmares when he went to sleep at night. Some strange nightmares scared him out of his wits. He looked for a witch and a fortune teller, but there was nothing he could do. Today, when he was talking with Pan Jun, he suddenly thought of his master. Thank you. Whether I'm cured or not, I'll treat you. The next morning, Pan Jun accompanied him to the mountain village's clinic. As soon as he entered the clinic, Wang Yao sighed softly. He felt a gloomy and cold aura from the man. After the man came closer, Su Xiaoxue looked at him a few more times. What's wrong, Xiaoxue? Well, I just feel that he's weird, Su Xiaoxue said. She felt that there was an indescribable sense of strangeness in the man, which made her very uncomfortable. That's right, Wang Yao said with a smile. Master, Dr. Wang, please sit down, Wang Yao said. What do you feel uncomfortable? Tell me. Okay. After sitting down, the man in his 30s began to carefully describe some of the discomforts he had felt in the past few days. When did it start? The second day of Chinese New Year? Well, The second day of Chinese New Year didn't have such a big reaction. To be precise, it was the third day of Chinese New Year, the man, who was also a doctor, said after carefully recalling. Chapter 975. Did you go to the grave on the second day of Chinese New Year? Wang Yao asked. Yes, I did, the man said. While I was burning incense for my grandfather, something strange happened. There was a sudden gust of wind. My goodness, it scared me. I thought my grandfather missed us and came out to see us. After you went back, you didn't feel well that night? The man asked. Yes, I didn't feel very well that night, the man said. At that time, I thought I'd caught a cold, so I didn't take it seriously. Who knew it would get worse and worse? Ah, did I really encounter something evil? The man asked. He had considered it in this way before and had tried to treat it. However, those fairies had not cured him. On the contrary, it had become more and more serious. Now he felt heavy and sleepy all over. At first, his head hurt badly, as if it was being pricked by needles. It was very uncomfortable. You have been infected with an evil spirit. It's easy to treat, Wang Yao said. Really, I'll have to trouble you. Come on. Wang Yao folded his hands and released his neishi. Suddenly, a gentle aura wrapped around the man. He only felt that he was bathing in the warm sun and the warm spring breeze. It was very comfortable. It's so comfortable. The man could not help but exclaim. Wang Yao just patted his body gently a few times, rubbed his head, and pressed it a few times. It's done. After saying that, he felt that the warm aura around him quickly disappeared until he could not feel it at all. This is it? The man asked in surprise. Yes, try again. Do you still feel uncomfortable? Wang Yao asked with a smile. The man gave a try. He then stood up and moved his body. Ah, you don't say. My body is not so tired. The key is that my head doesn't hurt anymore. That's good. It's really amazing. He gave a thumbs up and praised. Of course, he was not completely at ease yet. He was still skeptical. Master, shall we go back first? Yes, take care on the road. Got it. The two men left the clinic and got in the car. How do you feel? Tell me the truth. Pan Jun asked after starting the car. I feel pretty good now. My head doesn't hurt anymore, and I'm not so tired anymore. I just don't know how I'll feel in the future. He voiced his doubts in front of Pan Jun alone. There definitely won't be a problem. Pan Jun guaranteed for his master. I hope so. Don't worry. My master's medical skills will definitely not be a problem, Pan Jun said with a smile. In the medical center. Sir, what's with that strange feeling from that person just now? What do you think is strange? Wang Yao didn't answer in a hurry, but asked instead. Su Xiaoxue thought for a while and said, Well, how should I put it? I felt a little cold, especially when he was close to me. It was as if he had just come out of an ice cave. There's indeed a strange aura on his body, an evil aura. This situation is actually what we call encountering something unclean. It's not the first time I've encountered patients like this. Something unclean? Demons and ghosts? Not those things. Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. According to several patients with similar symptoms I've come into contact with, they have been to some remote and dark places. Moreover, before they were infected, their bodies were weak, Wang Yao said. Some people went to visit graves and came back with severe headaches and vomiting. So, they should also be infected with something unclean, right? Yes, you can understand it that way. Wang Yao said, external evil has entered the body. How can this disease be treated? Strengthen their body, Wang Yao said. Once their body is strengthened, they can resist it by themselves. Or, like me, they can expel the evil aura through external forces. However, there were very few people who had Wang Yao's means. Don't worry, you're not afraid of these things. Why? The neishi you practice naturally restrains them, Wang Yao said. Now, your body is very helpful. The yang qi in your body is enough to dissolve them. So, in addition to being immune to all kinds of poisons and repelling snakes and rats, I have another ability now. I'm immune to ghosts and gods? Yes, Wang Yao said with a smile. Thousands of miles away in He County, cough. Guojing coughed a few times. This year, he did not have a particularly peaceful time. There were many things that he needed to deal with. Overwork had led to illness. Recently, he had caught a cold and coughed badly. This cough made his stomach ache faintly. Hiss! He took a deep breath. Why is the pain getting worse and worse? He thought. I hope there is no other problem. After thinking about it, he called his secretary and made an appointment with the doctor in the county hospital to have a checkup in the afternoon. The checkup was not a big deal. Secretary Gua, I suggest you go to the city to have a look. What is the problem? Just say it. We found a tissue similar to a tumor in your abdominal cavity. It is on the outside of the intestinal wall. Our medical facilities here are limited. What do you think? Hearing this, Gua Zhenghe was stunned for a while. Secretary Gua? Well, I see, Gua Zhenghe said. Sorry to trouble you. You can't tell anyone about this. I know, the doctor hurriedly said. Don't worry. Well, you can go about your business. Gua Zhenghe's heart was filled with anger and worry. The first thing he thought of was the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Just 3 months ago, he had just undergone a full-body examination. Almost all of his indicators were normal, with only a few minor problems. Now, however, such a worrisome illness had suddenly appeared. What was the reason? Over the past few months, the main thing he had dealt with was a series of vicious incidents brought about by the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Before the new year, he had been poisoned. At that time, he had been treated by the people in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Now that such a thing had suddenly appeared in his body, it must have had something to do with them. Damn it! After returning to his office, he thought about it carefully. He first communicated with the leaders in advance. As soon as they heard that he wanted to go home, the leaders immediately agreed. They all knew Gua Zhenghe's background. He had gone there to gain experience, and gain experience. However, they did not expect so much trouble to have happened recently. They were worried that the Gua family would blame them for not helping. Naturally, they would not interfere with such a small matter. His superiors approved. He had to say hello to his family. What's going on? When she heard that he wanted to make an appointment with a specialist in Jing, his mother was very worried. Nothing. I just want to go back and have my body checked. Okay. His mother hurriedly made an appointment with the best internal medicine specialist for him. After arranging his work in He County, Gua Zhenghe set off early the next morning. He took the earliest and nearest flight to Jing City and arrived there on the same day. After seeing her son, his mother hurriedly asked with concern, What's going on? I'm fine, Mom. After a night's rest, he had a physical examination at the best hospital in the country the next day. It was confirmed that there was indeed a tumor-like tissue in his abdominal cavity. After a sample examination, they found that there were a large number of unknown microbes in the sarcoma. Upon hearing this, Gua Zhenghe's mother hurriedly asked, Microbes? What microbes? Well, we are still analyzing this, the specialist said. It was the first time he had encountered such a situation. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine. It must be the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. After coming out of the hospital, his mother invited Dr. Chun and Dr. Li to see her son. After the examination, the two of them came to the same conclusion. He had been infected with a poisonous bug. It's not a bug. It's a curse. Gua Zhenghe's expression was very ugly. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine. It must be them. At this time, he had listed that place as a target that he had to deal with and figure out. First, it was his sister. Then it was himself. Who else could it be? You were fine. How'd you get this disease? Mom, you don't have to worry. Gua Zhenghe comforted his mother. I can solve this matter by myself. Uncle Chun, Uncle Li, let's talk in private. Gua Zhenghe invited the two old men to the study. Uncle Chun, Uncle Li, can you cure this curse? Zhenghe, tell me the truth, Chun Zhouchuan said. Do you know how you got infected with this curse? There's a very unique place near He County where I live. It is called the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. The people there specialize in these things. The vicious incident that happened a while ago in He County was related to them. Yes, it was related to them, Gua Zhenghe said. I was infected before the new year. At that time, it was the people in their village who detoxified the poison for me. Well, I guess they have something to do with it, Chun Zhouchuan said. Zhenghe, I'll be honest with you. If it was just an ordinary insect, the two of us would be able to get rid of it. But this insect is not ordinary. It could kill people. You have to find someone else to help you, Chen Zhouchuan said. Uncle Chen, do you know anyone who can do this? Me? You can try to find Wang Yao, Chen Zhouchuan said. Guo Jinghe raised his eyebrows when he heard the name. Of course, he knew that Wang Yao could cure the curse, but he really didn't want to go there. Because of Su Xiaoxue, the relationship between the two of them was very strained. Apart from him, is there anyone near southern Yunnan who can do this? Well, we heard that there is a Miaojiang king pharmacist nearby, Li Shengrong said. He is quite capable. I have also heard of this person, Chen Zhouchuan said. His temper and rules are quite strange. Guo Jinghe knew more about the person named Wu San than the two people in front of him. He had studied in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine for a while and had some connections with the Miaoxi River. You could try to find him, Li Shengrong said. Chapter 976. Let's go there. It's closer to He County, after all, Guo Jinghe said. Okay. Chen Zhouchuan nodded. It's just that Wu San's rules and temper are a bit weird. You have to be prepared for that. His temper and rules depended on who he was dealing with. As for Wang Yao, he didn't want to go to him unless it was absolutely necessary. That day, he used his family's connections and went to southern Yunnan to find the king pharmacist, Wu San. It was said that he was in a remote village with strange rules. However, as Guo Jinghe had said, since he was in contact with the outside world, he could not avoid worldly relationships. After all, he also had family and relatives. Sometimes, the rules could be appropriately relaxed, especially when a big leader in the province came to him in person. Just this once. Favors had to be given, but rules had to be followed. Yes, just this once. Okay, bring him in. Guo Jinghe entered the wooden building and saw Wu San, the king pharmacist of Miaojiang. He looked to be in his 40s and had taken good care of himself. He felt that he had the same smell as Miaoxi River. This is? Wu San frowned slightly after seeing Guo Jinghe's diagnosis. It's a poisonous bug, isn't it? Guo Jinghe asked directly. Yes, have you been in Yi County? I'm a secretary of Yi County. Guo Jinghe didn't mince his words. I've been poisoned with a poisonous bug before. It was the people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine who cured me. I see. Wu San didn't say anything after hearing that. He already understood. Miaoxi River, what are you trying to do? He naturally knew about this kind of poisonous bug. It was indeed from the village and could be cured. Soon, Wu San removed the goo worms from his body. Done. Thank you. You're welcome. Wu San waved his hand. He felt that he might have been involved in a big trouble. Be careful when you go back. I don't want to see you again, Wu San said in the end. Guo Jinghe was startled after hearing that. His face was a bit ugly. He forced himself not to say anything and went straight out of the wooden building. How is it? All right. That's good, that's good. Although he was in southern Yunnan, he was not in a hurry to go back. Instead, he returned to the capital. On the way, he had been thinking about how to completely solve this problem. When he returned to the capital, he was surprised to find that his father had also returned. Dad, why are you back? I have business in Beijing. How is your health? There's no problem anymore. I plan to go to the hospital for another checkup. Guo Jinghe said, although Wu San said that he was fine and he didn't feel the pain anymore, he was still worried. It was better to go to the hospital for a checkup. Yes, you have to go for a checkup. I just discussed it with your father. You can't continue to stay in Yi County. It's too dangerous there, his mother said. As a mother, she was most worried about her son's life and health. As for other things, they were secondary. Well, I want to stay here for a while. After all, it's a little irresponsible to leave at this time, Guo Jinghe said. So many things had just happened in Yi County. It was indeed a little irresponsible to leave at this time. I also suggest that you don't stay there, Guo Jinghe's father said. Recently, the capital is preparing to organize a cadre training class. You should prepare for it. That's fine. Guo Jinghe thought about it and nodded. A gentleman would not stand under a wall. When to rush and when to retreat, he still knew in his heart. Your sister was once injured there? Yes, Guo Jinghe said. Just a year ago. Well, what kind of place is that Valley of Thousands of Medicine? It's too much, Governor Guo said. His words were harsh. At the same time, it showed his extreme dissatisfaction with this place. After all, these were his son and daughter. They were members of the Guo family. When had they ever been bullied, let alone when their lives were threatened? Yes, I've been thinking about this matter these days, Guozheng has said. That patriarch is called Miaoshi River, right? Yes, that's the person. What kind of person is he? He's ambitious and doesn't want to be paid too much attention to, Guozheng has said. Ambition? The cause of all these things is him, right? It's all because of him. Since he has caused so much trouble, he has to bear the corresponding consequences, Governor Guo said. I already have some ideas, Guozheng has said. Oh, tell me about it. Doesn't he want to hide from the world and not be paid too much attention to? Guozheng has said, let's completely expose their stockade and show it to people. Well, that's a good idea. In a mountain village thousands of miles away, in the clinic, the young man, who was as fragile as glass, received a second treatment. After 3 days of absorption and recovery after the first treatment, the young man's physical condition had greatly improved. He felt it the most obvious. He had strength in his body. He became more energetic and liked to eat. His mother, who had been paying attention to him, could naturally feel the changes in her son. Dr. Wang's medical skills are really superb. The woman praised more than once. The second treatment went very smoothly. The young man also took the initiative to cooperate. Dr. Wang, can our Xiao Rui be cured? According to the current situation, there should be no problem, Wang Yao said. What he needed to do now was to change the young man's foundation. His illness was not acquired. It was congenital. It was brought out from the mother's womb. It was in his bones. Therefore, it was more troublesome to treat. What Wang Yao wanted to do was to treat the young man's foundation and change his constitution. That's great. In fact, she had asked this question once before. Okay, come back in 3 days. Thank you, thank you. The woman was very happy. Dr. Wang, Xiao Xue, are you free tonight? Auntie, what's the matter? I just want to treat you to a meal to express my gratitude. No need, Wang Yao said with a smile. In the end, he declined the woman's invitation. After the third treatment is over, I'll accompany you back to Jing. They had already discussed it. Wang Yao would accompany Xiao Xue to celebrate the Lantern Festival at her home. Okay, in town, a batch of medicinal materials had been sent to the pharmaceutical factory. They were ready to try the second medicine. It was the heat-clearing powder. After the medicinal materials came in, Zheng Weijun specifically told Wang Yao. He drove to the company and personally checked the materials. After confirming that there were no problems with the medicinal materials, he began the trial production. The first batch of medicinal materials was not a lot. This time, they were still decocting the medicine. They did not intend to make granular powder. The first trial production seemed to be very smooth. After the medicine came out, Wang Yao knew something was wrong as soon as he smelled it. This medicine is not qualified. It's been steamed for too long. Too long. The person in charge of the production process hurriedly wrote it down. How long do you think is suitable to shorten it? Do you add the medicine in the order I said? Yes. After all the medicine is added, shorten the steaming time by 1.5 minutes, Zheng Weijun said. Okay. That day, Wang Yao and Su Xiaoxue stayed in Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company. As a result, they wasted 7 batches of medicinal materials. They did not produce any medicinal materials that satisfied Wang Yao. The main problem was the control of time and the temperature of the steaming. It's almost done. That's it for today. I'll come back tomorrow and continue to debug. Okay, the person in charge of the production process said. Originally, the production of a new medicine was not that simple. It was rare to succeed in one try. Last time, under the guidance of Wang Yao, they spent several days and wasted a lot of medicinal materials to succeed. What do we do with these medicines? Go to the sewage treatment process. An unqualified product was a waste product. This was the most basic rule. It was absolutely impossible to pass off shoddy products as good ones. In order to treat the wastewater produced during the process, this pharmaceutical company was equipped with very advanced sewage treatment equipment. Just this set of equipment alone cost tens of millions of yuan. Chapter 977. Okay, Wang Yao said. All the unqualified decoctions were discharged into the sewage treatment system. In fact, if the decoctions were bottled and sold in the market, the effect would not be too bad. They would even be better than most similar products because the raw materials were better. The formula had been adjusted by Wang Yao to be more reasonable. However, in Wang Yao's eyes, the decoctions were unqualified. They used the next 2 days to pass the trial of the heat-clearing powder. Phew, finally a qualified product, the person in charge of production said. He had been in the pharmaceutical industry for many years. It was not biological fermentation. There were many uncontrollable factors. Relatively speaking, the production of this kind of traditional Chinese medicine formula was simpler and easier because the formula was ready-made. According to the composition, the herbs were added together and steamed. Then, the subsequent filtration and packaging procedures were carried out. It was not a one-time success, but only a few times. However, Wang Yao's requirements were quite strict. This is only a small-scale trial production. If it were to be produced on a large scale, it would probably take some time. This was only a trial production. There were still many things that needed to be dealt with. In a mountain village, in the clinic, that day, the third treatment for the teenager named He Xiaowei was given. His condition had taken a huge turn for the better, and his complexion looked much better as well. The treatment, which was the same as the previous 2 times, lasted for most of the day. After this treatment, Xiao Xue and I will go to Jing for a while, Wang Yao said. We can't continue the treatment. Take this decoction according to the time. Put the medicinal bath aside for the time being. Oh, we also want to go back to Jing. Let's go together. Well, no, Auntie, Su Xiaoxue said with a smile. Can't we have a medicinal bath in Jing? Wang Yao asked. Not in Jing. Wang Yao shook his head. That's good. She was very satisfied with her son's current treatment. The mother and son had been away from Jing for some time. They just wanted to go back. They were used to life in Jing. It was not easy to suddenly come to such a small county. Wang Yao and Su Xiaoxue stayed at home with their parents for a day. They did not go to the clinic or Nanshan Hill. They just stayed with them and talked. The family was warm and happy together. The next day, they left the mountain village and flew directly to Jing. They arrived in the capital on the same day. Song Ruiping was very happy to see her daughter back. That night, he arranged for someone to prepare a table full of delicious food. Come eat more. Thank you, and Wang Yao could only express his gratitude. As a result, he ate a lot during the meal. Fortunately, his appetite was big enough. Based on his current physical condition, if he wanted to eat, he might be able to eat an entire cow. The next day was the 15th day of the first lunar month. In fact, some places had already prepared lanterns. On the 15th day of the first lunar month, they watched the lanterns. The lanterns in the capital were undoubtedly the most gorgeous, and at this time, there were a lot of people coming out to see the lanterns. Su Xiaoxue was very happy because Wang Yao was always by her side. The streets were crowded with people, but when these people got close to the two of them, they were pushed away by an invisible force. No one could touch Su Xiaoxue, and not even a corner of her clothes. That night, the two of them didn't return home until it was very late. Did you have fun tonight? I'm happy. The next morning, the sky was a little gray. This kind of winter weather was not uncommon in the capital. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan. Early in the morning, a few people came out of nowhere and drove 2 cars on the road that was built in the near future. No, Master Way, is this the right way? Don't you even have a GPS? Yes, it's here, the young leader said. Oh, how do you think people get in and out of such a place? They live the kind of life in a paradise, the young leader said. They don't want to be disturbed by outsiders. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Sounds came from the woods. Hey, what's that sound? Nothing, the young leader said. Are you hallucinating? No, it's true, the young leader said. I seem to have seen something else. Do you think there are tigers, leopards, or something like that? Nonsense, the young man said. I checked before I came. There are no such things in the jungle. Besides, I brought something with me. The young man took out a crossbow. Do you know how to use it? Remove the me, the young leader said. I've used it to hunt and kill deer. The car continued to drive in the jungle. The speed was not fast. They couldn't go faster even if they wanted to. In the valley of thousands of medicine deep in the jungle. Who is it? Two cars, a few young people who don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Deal with it as you see fit. Yes. Roar. F*CK. It's a leopard, the young leader said. Didn't you say there were no such beasts? What are you afraid of? We are in the car, the young leader said. It can't get in. Brother Way, let's go back. Go, we're here. We're almost there. With a bang, a person suddenly fell from the sky and landed on the hood of their car. His face was covered in blood. With a creak, the car stopped abruptly. The man fell out of the car. Was a person just now? Yes. His face was covered in blood, the young leader said. You guys stay in the car, the young leader said. I'll go out and have a look. The young leader got out of the car with the crossbow. Hey, buddy. He carefully got out of the car and came to the front of the car. He was stunned. There was a pool of blood in front of the car, but there was no one. He circled around the car, but he didn't see anyone at all. The car window opened. A young man poked his head out and asked, "How is it?" "I'm fine." Master Wei's face became pale after he got into the car. His eyes were in a daze, and his forehead was sweating. "No, Master Wei, where is he?" "No one." "What?" "We clearly saw someone just now. His face was covered in blood." I said, "There was no one down there. Only a pool of blood on the ground." "Where is he?" "How would I know?" "Hiss, that's strange." With a thud, the young man sitting next to him suddenly lay on the driver's seat. Then he foamed at the mouth and passed out. Xiao Yuan, wake up, hey. He shook Xiao Yuan hard, but there was no response. What's wrong? Is he having epilepsy? Nonsense. Xiao Yuan doesn't have this problem at all. What should we do? What else can we do? Hurry up, turn around, and go to the hospital. Yes. The two cars made a difficult turn on the muddy road and rushed out as fast as they could. Not long after they left, a person walked out from the side and stood on the road. His face was covered in blood. These young people are really... it's so hard for me to act like this. The wave seemed to have passed just like that. The next day, another car went into the jungle to look for a village. What's going on? Chapter 978. Is this real or fake? Of course it's real. This is a real video. Where is it? This place? Look, they even marked it on the map. Brothers, let's go and have a look. Sure. Over the past 2 days, a place called the Valley of Thousands of Medicine had suddenly become popular on the internet. It was located in the depths of the jungle. It was a real paradise. The only way in and out was a suspension bridge over a turbulent river. There was a small path and a canyon. The information was not just in words. It was also accompanied by pictures, which made it much more credible. There were always some people who were more willing to go to the more remote a place was. As a result, more and more people headed for the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. They encountered many strange things on their way, such as car tires suddenly punctured, people suddenly fainted, strange people with blood falling from the sky, and so on. These abnormal and strange events were posted on the internet by those who wanted to go to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine but failed. It caused a heated discussion. Some people said that it was a place protected by the gods. It was a peaceful paradise that did not want to be disturbed by outsiders. Some people said that these things were purely coincidences. Some people said that these things were deliberately done by the people in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine to avoid being disturbed by outsiders. However, the more it was so, the more it aroused the curiosity of some people. As a result, the number of people exploring the Valley of Thousands of Medicine did not decrease. On the contrary, it increased. What? There are more and more people? Yes. I'm afraid it can't go on like this. It must have aroused their curiosity. Miaoshi River drank a cup of tea. We can't stop them. Let them in. Let them in, Miaoshi River said. Let them in. Let them regret coming in, Miaoshi River said casually. Yes, Miao Qing Feng, who did not know the meaning of the name, said. He did not know what the clan leader was going to do, but hearing what he said, it seemed that he had made up his mind. Let the people outside check it out. There's something going on. Yes, I'll go out. Okay. Miaoshi River waved his hand. Come on. On this day, as the sun set in the west, the group of 5 overcame many difficulties and finally saw the suspension bridge over the river. as well as the faintly discernible village at the other end of the bridge. I finally found the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. They walked across the swaying suspension bridge and stood at the entrance of the valley, looking at the scene inside. The ancient path was paved with stone slabs, bamboo buildings, and wooden strongholds. Smoke rose in spirals from kitchen chimneys, and there were green mountains on both sides. It was indeed a scene of a peaceful and tranquil paradise. This place is so beautiful. Yeah, it really looks like the one in the picture. They did not forget to post it on their WeChat moments as soon as possible. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine is a legendary place. We have found it. It is as beautiful as a painting. This is indeed a paradise. Look, a journey of over 1,000 miles, a day's worth of running and bumps. It's worth it. Let's go in and take a look. The five of them passed through the entrance of the valley and arrived at the village. He saw the people in the stockade. They were wearing clothes made of homespun cloth and walking leisurely. Hello. They took the initiative to greet them. After hearing their voices, the man in his 40s looked at the five of them. He opened his mouth and said a few words that they did not understand. Well, what did he mean? Could it be a local dialect? It should be. The five of them were stunned. No one understood what he said, and the other party did not understand what they said. There was no way to communicate. What should we do? Well, let's walk around first and find a place to stay. Wait, it's getting late. Why don't we find a place to stay first? Yes, hurry up. The sun was about to set. Well, we still have to walk around. They wandered around the village and met more than a dozen people. However, they could not communicate because of the language barrier. Well, we have to sleep in a tent tonight. Look, what a big lake. They saw the soothing God Lake. Under the illumination of the setting sun, the blue waves rippled, peaceful and peaceful. It's so beautiful. They took a photo and posted it on their WeChat moments. This trip was worth it. Look at this lake. It's so beautiful that it's intoxicating. It's so worth it. They did not find a suitable place to stay until nighttime. Some people came up to them and took the initiative to ask them, but they did not understand what they were saying. Let's make do with the lake for the night. Not by the lake. The wind here is cold. Besides, there might be some rules and customs here. Look, there are statues by the lake. The young man who seemed to be the head pointed to a stone statue by the lake. It seemed to be a person with a big fish under him. Where should we go? Let's stay at the entrance of the village. When we came in, I saw an open space there. Okay, let's go there. They returned to the entrance of the village. There was a large open space there. It was relatively flat, and there was a cliff on the side. Here, they took out the tents they had brought with them, set them up, and lit a bonfire. They were exhausted from the day's travel. After eating something, they agreed to take turns to keep watch in pairs. Then, they went to sleep. The night was very quiet. The next day, they got together and found that one person was missing. Hey, where's Xiaoming? He went into the tent last night. What time? It was 3 o'clock when we changed shifts. I saw it with my own eyes. Look for him again. The few of them were a little anxious. Xiaoming. They split up and shouted to look around. He's here. Under a tree at the entrance of the valley, they found their comrade in a coma. How could he be here? What's wrong with him? Did he faint? He's still breathing, and his heartbeat is normal, one of his companions said after checking him. Here, hurry up and take him to the hospital. Damn, although they were unwilling in their hearts, it wasn't easy for them to come here. They hadn't even had the chance to take a good look at such a beautiful scenery before encountering such a thing. However, they had no choice. Their friends' lives were more important. They drove their companions quickly across the suspension bridge, then returned to the car and drove away quickly. Not long after they left, several figures appeared at the entrance of the valley. He won't die, right? No, he'll be in a coma for a few days. That's good. I think it's okay for a few people to die, the other man said. After this group of people is gone, there will definitely be another group. When will it end? It's the chief's arrangement. We'll do as he says, the Miao Qing Feng said with a cold face. This matter was definitely not over. The five of them drove back. Thud, thud. Another two people were knocked down on the road. What's going on? The remaining two people were panicking. If something were to happen again, they would all fall in this forest in the middle of nowhere. Chapter 979. I told you we shouldn't have come. This forest and that lousy stockade are so King evil. Another young man, who was sober, sounded like he was about to cry. What's the point of talking about this now? Let's find a way to get out of here as soon as possible. The young man who took the lead was also very anxious. He was also worried and regretful. Coming there was purely an impulse, but then again, he had been impulsive for a long time. He had been to places like the deep mountains and forests and Fengmen village, which were said to be haunted. Nothing had happened. It was unlike this place, where the three of them had fainted on this trip. Bodhisattva, please protect us. Another companion kept praying to the gods. Perhaps his prayers really worked. In the end, they safely rushed out of the jungle. They immediately found a local clinic to treat his three injured and unconscious companions. Their vital signs are still stable, the doctor said. Our conditions are limited, so we can't treat them. Let's quickly go to a bigger hospital. Doctor, do you mean that the lives of my three friends are not in danger for the time being? It looks that way to me, but it's hard to say as time goes by, the doctor said responsibly. Okay, thank you. The young man hurriedly contacted a hospital to transfer his friends to a bigger one. Then, more news about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine appeared on the internet. The people there don't understand the outside language. It's still the local dialect, so there's no way to communicate. It's a dangerous place. After going in, our group inexplicably contracted a strange disease. We had to leave halfway, but the scenery there's indeed very beautiful. So can we go or not? If you're not afraid of death, you can give it a try. Because of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, a forum was formed. Those who were curious, bored, or adventurous did not stop exploring the place because of the comments. On the contrary, it aroused their interest even more. As a result, more and more people began to search for the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Unlike in the past, they had a clear route this time. Those who had been there had marked out the exact route to get there. Chief, Qing Feng, what did the people outside say? It's not easy to deal with, Qing Feng said. This time, it's obvious that someone is adding fuel to the fire. There must be someone behind this. Who is it? No, it's not easy to investigate. Miao Qing Feng replied. He has achieved his goal. He has exposed us to the world. We are no longer mysterious and isolated from the world, Miaoshi River said. He had worked hard and persevered. The things that have been passed down for hundreds of years in this stockade seemed to be destroyed in just a few days. However, he did not have any good ideas. Do you have any good ideas? The people outside are trying to think of a way, but the internet is too advanced now. Got it. You can go first. Yes. Miao Qing Feng left the wooden house. Not long after he came out, he saw a young man whose face was a little green. Ing Hao, when did you come back? I just came back. It's very lively outside. The young man said. Yes, it's very lively. It's like a storm is coming. Miao Qing Feng said. For the first time, he felt that the situation was beyond his expectations. It was going out of control. What they were doing now was like using paper to wrap a fire. It could only cover it for a while, but not for a lifetime. The situation might be even more turbulent than before. What can I do? You don't need to do anything for now. Miao Qing Feng smiled. These things did not happen for no reason. There must be someone behind this. We have to find out who it is. Zhao Young Ho did not say anything. He looked around and looked at the stockade village. It's really good here. He had already regarded this place as his second home. Yes. Miao Qing Feng lit a cigarette. They were used to living a peaceful life. None of them wanted to be disturbed by outsiders. Moreover, they did not only live a peaceful life here. There were other things that could not be exposed to the public. Those curious outsiders were not restricted. This kind of danger must be eliminated before it is in its infancy. Unfortunately, the more they suppressed it, the stronger the counterattack would be. In Jing, thousands of miles away, Wang Yao stayed there for nearly a week. During this time, a few guests came to visit Su Xiaoshue's house. In fact, they did not come to see Su Xiaoxue. They just came to say hello and get to know each other better. Soon, Su Xiaoxue would start school. She would be busy again. It was time for Wang Yao to leave. Take care, sir, Su Xiaoxue said. I know. Go back. I'll come again when I have time. Wang Yao held Su Xiaoxue in his arms before leaving. He reluctantly said goodbye. That night, Wang Yao returned home. The next day, the clinic opened as usual to receive patients. On the first day, the middle-aged woman brought her son to the mountain village to receive treatment from Wang Yao. How do you feel these days? I feel good, he Xiaorui said with a smile. During this time, he felt that his body had improved significantly. His mentality had become more cheerful and cheerful. He had become more talkative. His body has become more energetic, his mother said. He is more energetic. He likes to eat. Well, I'll continue to receive treatment today. As soon as he took the medicine and received the injection, someone came in from outside. Uncle, what's the matter? The person who came in was Wang Yilong. Ah, you have a patient, Wang Yilong hurriedly said. You go ahead. I'll come back later. It's okay. Just tell me what you need. It's nothing. I'll come back later. Wang Yilong smiled and waved his hand. He then left the clinic. The medicinal bath lasted for more than 3 hours. So, Wang Yao did not eat lunch. Drink some water. The medicinal bath was steaming. The human body would lose a certain amount of water. It needed to be replenished in time. It was nearly 2 p.m. when he finished the treatment. I'm sorry, Dr. Wang, for delaying your lunchtime. It's okay. It won't affect me much, Wang Yao said with a smile. This was not a big deal at all. Compared to those chief surgeons who had to stand at the operating table for a few hours at a time and had to be fully focused, this level of skill was incomparable. After paying the consultation fee, the mother and son sincerely expressed their gratitude. They then left and rushed to Lianshan County. At 4 p.m., Wang Yilong came again. Uncle, what can I do for you? Wang Yao thought that Uncle Li must have something he could help him with since he had come twice in one day. It's nothing. I just want to give you a small thing, Wang Yilong said with a smile. What is it? Well, I caught this in Beishan. Wang Yilong took out a bag from his back. There was a pheasant in it. Ah, Wang Yao was stunned. You're here for this? Yes, this thing tastes good, but the meat is a little bit dry. It needs to be stewed well. No, it's not necessary. You can eat it yourself. It's for you. It's for you. Wang Yilong insisted on staying. Okay, I'll stay. Uncle, your complexion is getting better and better, Wang Yao said. 2 days ago, Wang Yao had checked his pulse. He had recovered very well. The malignant tumors in his body were basically gone. His treatment plan was feasible and effective. Ah, yes, I'm better now. I have time now, so I walk around. I went to Beishan yesterday and saw 2 pheasants. I threw a stone. What a coincidence. It hit one of them directly, Wang Yilong said with a smile. If there are such things in the future, you can eat it yourself. You need to nourish your body. The pheasant was delicious and nutritious. It was a real mountain treasure and nourishing. Many places now cultivated it. After chatting for a while, Wang Yilong left happily. Well, take it back, Wang Yao said as he looked at the pheasant in his hand. Where did the pheasant come from? Uncle Yilong sent it to the clinic this afternoon. Why did you take it? Zhang Xiuying asked. Oh, I don't want it, but I can't refuse. So be it. I'll stew it tonight. Chapter 980. The chicken soup was delicious. How is your Uncle Yilong? Basically, he's fine, Wang Yao said. That's good. Our son has changed and can enjoy life, Zhang Xiuying said happily. Yes, thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan. Chieftain, you were looking for me? Have a seat, Qingfeng. Is it still very lively outside? It's very lively. I've arranged for people to release some poisonous insects on the road, the Miao Qingfeng said. I've been thinking about this for the past few days. There's no smoke without fire. These people wouldn't have looked for them for no reason. There must be someone behind this. Our people outside have been investigating for a long time, but they still haven't found a name. What does this mean? The Miaoxi River asked. Well, this person is very clever. He's so clever that no one can find him. Or his background is so deep that even if we find out, we won't dare to say anything, the Miao Qingfeng said after thinking for a while. Yes, I think so too. Think about it. Who have we offended during this period of time? Who has the ability to do this? Secretary Gua from He County. Miao Qingfeng thought about it, and he was the only one who met these conditions. First of all, he was in charge of He County, but the vicious incidents that happened in He County one after another, and so many people died. This must have had a great impact on his future. Secondly, he was directly affected by this incident. He was poisoned. Although they were not the ones who poisoned him, they could not get away with it. This was undeniable. Moreover, his relatives were attacked, and the one who did was the son of the chief in front of him. With the other party's means, he would definitely know Miao Chongqing's true identity. With all these things added together, if he said that he did not have hatred in his heart and did not have any thoughts about the stockade, then he was not human. More importantly, the other party had such thoughts and had the ability to do so. They had also asked around, and their family was quite powerful. I think so too. No matter from which aspect, he's the biggest suspect. But he is still in He County, said the Miao Qingfeng. A gentleman doesn't stand under a collapsing wall. I have some doubts about this too. According to his family's power, he should have left this place earlier, Miaoshi River said. Patriarch should we? The Miao Qingfeng made a gesture. This is not the right time. If he really did it, he will be prepared. Don't forget about his family, Miaoshi River said. As the chief of the stronghold, he sometimes felt that his life was very tiring. He had to consider too many things. He wasn't just doing this for himself. Really, keep an eye on him. Yes, in He County. Young master. Uncle Sue, have a seat. Young master, be careful. There are people watching you from outside, Su Xinyuan said. Oh, is it those people? That should be the case. I didn't get too close to avoid being discovered by them. These people are really bold. Guozheng has said. They're watching me now. Do you think they will send people to kill me when they find out that I have something to do with this matter? Guozheng lit a cigarette and said with a smile, I think that Miaoshi River has already suspected me. Young master, it is too dangerous now. After all, this place is too close to that place. It is better to plan early. Well, I know what to do. His family had already started to move. In his current situation, it was not difficult for him to move to another place. However, he was unwilling to give up. To be honest, during his time in He County, he had worked hard. He really wanted to do something, and he had done something. He had a good reputation in He County. He had feelings for this place and didn't want to leave just like that. How are the preparations for the things I arranged for you? It is ready. Well, good. Guozheng nodded. In Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company in Lianshan, Zheng Weijun was very happy. The procedures for the new medicine were being pushed forward very quickly. The local departments were very cooperative. His connections also played a big role. However, the sudden appearance of a person made his originally good mood turn a little sour. He came to meet a middle-aged man who was not very tall. He looked to be in his 40s and had taken good care of himself. Uncle Lee, what a rare guest. Please have a seat. Second young master, congratulations, the middle-aged man said with a smile. What is there to congratulate me about? Zheng Weijun asked with a smile. Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company is a hit. The middle-aged man said with a smile. This is just the beginning. The road ahead is long. Although Zheng Weijun was also very happy, he knew that this was only the first step to success. The road ahead was really long. He was very clear about this. Uncle Lee, you didn't come here just to tell me this, right? Grandpa misses you very much. He asked me to come and see you. Thank you, Zheng Weijun said. Please help me convey my gratitude. I also miss him and my mother very much. The last family meeting had made him very sad because his father had completely stood on his brother's side. He had not considered his feelings at all, not even a little bit. His mother was the same. She supported his brother. At that moment, he felt that he had been abandoned. It was as if he was an outsider in the family. At that moment, he was very hurt and sad. Therefore, he did not go back that year. Even when his mother called him, he did not go back. Madam also misses you very much. She wants to ask when you will go back. There is no hurry, Zheng Weijun said. I'm very busy here. There are a lot of things that need to be done. He suddenly felt a sense of disgust for no reason. Is there anything else? I have a meeting later. No. Take care, young master. Take care. I want to see you off. Zheng Weijun did not say anything unnecessary. He did not even go out to see him off. Okay. The man smiled and went out. There was a high-end car waiting outside. After he got in, the car immediately started. He then made a phone call. Master, second young master, is still angry. Yes, I didn't say those words. Well, okay, I will go back right away. It was dark. In the sky, a full moon was as bright as a jade plate. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao looked at the sky. San Xian, what do you see? Woof, woof. San Xian was squatting beside him. He also looked up at the sky and wagged his tail. It should be warmer tomorrow. Look, it is a little dim, but it is not obvious. There should be some places where there will be earthquakes, but it will be very slight, the kind that can't be felt. Wang Yao gently patted San Xian's head and pointed to the sky. Woof, woof. Can you understand? Woof. Ha! Wang Yao laughed. After looking at the sky for a while, he returned to his room and prepared some things. The clinic would not open the next day. He had to do something on Nanshan Hill to try to prepare a new medicine. Chapter 981. He had already provided 2 prescriptions to Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company, both of which were decoctions. He was thinking about what prescription to use for the next one. Was it still a decoction? Or was it a pill? 9 herbs pill. Obviously, it was not suitable. This kind of pill was made of 9 kinds of expensive Chinese herbs. The cost was high, and Wang Yao did not want to popularize it for the time being. The other kind of medicine had better be more widely applicable. Detoxification pill. He thought about it for a long time and thought of this medicine. It nourished the kidney and liver, removed dampness and heat, and removed blood stasis and detoxified. It was made of angelica, poria cocos, inhua, and several other herbs. In terms of effect, it was somewhat similar to the heat-clearing powder, but this detoxification pill had several other effects. It was also a kind of commonly used medicine. Yes, that's it. After the decision was made, the next step was to prepare the medicine. He knew the prescription of a medicine, but he had never prepared it. Fortunately, he had all the herbs, and he was well aware of the preparation procedures and precautions. It was not difficult to prepare the medicine. After the prescription was decided, Wang Yao made appropriate adjustments on the basis of the ancient prescription. Then, he prepared the herbs and was ready to prepare it the next day. Before going to bed, he recited the scriptures again and did not stop until late at night. The next morning, he got up early. After washing up and eating, he began to prepare the pills. Stir-frying, grinding, and sieving. It took him the whole morning to process all the herbs used to make the pills and sift them in a fine powder. After a short rest, he began to make the pills. Powder, ancient spring water, medicine plaque, sieve, toss, and pinch. It was neither too fast nor too slow. It was like cooking porridge with a small fire. This was a skill and art. In the afternoon, Wang Yao made a total of 123 pills. It was done at the foot of the mountain outside the clinic. He was not in the morning or in the afternoon. What's the situation? There were 3 people waiting outside. There were people from other cities and had specially come to see a doctor because of his reputation. In the end, when they came in the morning, they found that there was no one. They had come all the way here, so they couldn't just go back like this. Hence, they came again in the afternoon. In the end, they waited for an entire afternoon, but there was still no one. This made them anxious. Hey, he has a Weibo account. Take a look. Ah, the clinic is not open today. What? They only saw Wang Yao's Weibo now, but it was already too late. Aya, why didn't you see it earlier? It's too late to say that now. Since we're already here, why don't we find a place to stay for the night? Yes, that's fine too. The 3 of them discussed for a while before returning to the car. One of them suddenly shuddered. It's starting. Then, his body began to tremble uncontrollably, and he fell into the car's seat. His body twitched and trembled uncontrollably, as if he had Parkinson's disease. His face was pale, and he looked like he was in great pain. His mouth was open, but he couldn't make any sound. Let's go, let's go. The car started and quickly drove out of the mountain village. When they reached the town, the young man stopped convulsing and let out a long sigh of relief. Damn it, it's finally over. This feeling was too painful. His body kept twitching as if all his muscles were fried. His body couldn't bear it. He wanted to shout and curse the heavens, but he couldn't make any sound. Don't you think it's scary? How long did it last this time? 20 minutes. It's 3 minutes longer than the last time. It's my turn soon, the young man sitting in the passenger seat said. Let's find a hotel to stay in. Do you think this doctor can do it? Let's give it a try. The three young men found a hotel in town and stayed there. On Nanshan Hill, after Wang Yao finished making the pills, he took 3 to feel the effect. Well, it's not bad. Then, he called Zheng Weijun and told him that this was the 3rd medicine he had prepared. The system had arranged a very grand task for him, which was to spread medicine all over the world. There was a time limit. It was neither short nor long, so he could not slack off. Therefore, he also accelerated the development of the new medicine. Zheng Weijun was preparing for dinner when he heard the news. He put down his chopsticks and drove over. Sir, didn't I tell you to come back tomorrow? Zheng Weijun asked with a smile. When I heard you say that there was a new medicine, my heart was itching. I can't wait until tomorrow, Zheng Weijun said with a smile. Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company had just started, and the first step was very good. It was a hit. The next step was to further expand its products. A pharmaceutical company could not survive on only one drug. It could have a main product. As for the variety of products, naturally, the more, the better. Even if some drugs were very niche, and even if the treatment range of some drugs could be moderately overlapping. This is the detoxification pill. Wang Yao handed the finished pill to Zheng Weijun and carefully explained the effect of the medicine to him. Well, good medicine, good medicine. Zheng Weijun hurriedly nodded. Is this a pill? Yes. He looked at the pill and asked, can it be made into Chinese medicine tablets? It was not that the pill was not good, but he was more inclined to the tablets. This is made of pure Chinese medicine. Tablets can also be made. Let's give it a try. Wang Yao thought for a moment and then handed the prescription to Zheng Weijun. He carefully put it away. It was a treasure that could not be bought with money. It was a chicken that could bring back golden eggs. Of course, he had to apply for a patent for this prescription through the relevant department, just like the previous 2 prescriptions. The only difference was that the name might be slightly changed. When can the heat-clearing powder be mass-produced? Zheng Weijun asked. Soon. The procedures are almost done. It is estimated that it can be mass-produced in less than a week. The herbs must be guaranteed to be good. Don't worry about that. After talking with Wang Yao about his plan for the development of the company, Zheng Weijun insisted on inviting Wang Yao to dinner. He could not refuse, so the 2 of them had a meal in a restaurant in the village. Well, the mountain delicacies here taste good, Zheng Weijun praised. Wild things were fresh to eat. The chef obviously had his own unique understanding of these ingredients and cooking methods. It was very delicious. Our medicine is now sold to several provinces. Yes, Qi province, 3 provinces in the east, 6 provinces in the south, and whose city, a total of 11 provinces and cities, Zheng Weijun said. Now, our production capacity has encountered a bottleneck. The sales of the medicine were getting better and better, but wild herbs were limited. It was impossible to expand infinitely. Now that the pharmaceutical company had just been established, there were many things that needed to be worn in, including equipment, workers, and technology. They could not blindly focus on speed and output. Between output and quality, he valued the latter more. A company's reputation was mainly based on the quality of its products. Wild herbs. Yes, there can be no shortcuts or concessions on this. Don't worry about that, Zheng Weijun said. I have arranged for more than one department to keep an eye on it. If there is a problem, I will immediately make him pack up and leave. This was emphasized more than once at the company's managers' meeting. It was listed as the company's top priority for management and quality control. It had to be put in the top position at all times. Chapter 982. Zheng Weijun was so happy that he drank 2 more glasses of wine. Did you call the driver? Yes, he's already here, Zheng Weijun said with a smile. That's good, Wang Yao said with a smile. After drinking a few glasses of wine and eating some dishes, Zheng Weijun rushed to pay the bill after he was full. Sir, is there anything else? No. Can I take you back first? No, it's such a short distance. It's good for the body to take a walk. Wang Yao smiled. It was only a kilometer away from the village where he lived. With his speed, you would be back soon. I'll go back first. Okay. After watching the car drive away, Wang Yao slowly returned home by the moonlight and went up Nanshan Hill. The night passed peacefully. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, the Valley of Thousands of Medicine was very lively during this period of time. Almost every day, people would come here and encounter all kinds of accidents. The internet was very lively about this place, saying that there were some unknown secrets hidden here. Even more mysterious news was spread on the internet. It was said that this stockade had a prescription to prolong one's life that could allow people to live to more than 100 years old. There were even examples that were said with certainty. Many people in their 90s looked about the same as people in their 60s or 70s outside. Their bodies were very healthy, and there were even photos of them. With that said, more people came here. Hey, do you think the things on the internet are true or false? Nonsense, of course it's false. How can there be so many people with long lives? Who would believe a formula to prolong life? I don't think so. Maybe there's such a thing? Some people did not believe the rumors on the internet, but there were always some who believed it. Therefore, some people came directly to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine to inquire about the formula to prolong life. Some people even wanted to talk to Miaoshi River directly. Naturally, they could not see him. Not only could they not see him, but some people were seriously injured for no reason. Finally, the first person to die appeared. This is bad. Once someone died, the internet immediately exploded. This matter was magnified infinitely. Someone died. Why did people die? Is there some kind of poison in the forest? It's been so many days and so many people have been there, but nothing happened. Why did someone suddenly die? Maybe his body wasn't good to begin with. Look at this news. A major piece of news appeared on the internet. The chief of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Miaoshi River, did not want outsiders to disturb their peaceful life. Therefore, he arranged for people to release some poisonous creatures, such as scorpions and centipedes in the woods, so that people outside would retreat. He also arranged for people in the stockade to poison people who entered the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. That can't be right. Who is this person? How could he be so vicious? This was going to be very lively. Patriarch, this news is very unfavorable for you. This was only the first step. Someone received the news, and in the end, the city sent people to investigate. This was an official-level investigation. Patriarch, what about them? Yes, Miaoshi River said. He met the investigation team, formed by several departments in the city, and answered their concerns one by one, assuring them that those things were definitely not done by them. The environment here is really good, an official said. Has Patriarch Miao not considered developing tourism? Well, the people in the stockade are not ready for this yet, Miaoshi River said. After all, we have lived like this for hundreds of years and are used to it. That's true. I can understand that. However, it's a waste for such a good resource to be hidden here. Miaoshi River did not say anything more. The group of people investigated the place and stayed for a night. There were no problems, so they left the stockade. Patriarch? Well, it seems that I have to meet Secretary Ga, Miaoshi River said. Well, I will arrange it. That day, the sun was shining brightly. He County, in Guizhenghe's office, Secretary Gua, I hope you don't mind my sudden visit. Not at all, Guizhenghe said with a smile. I haven't thanked you properly for your help last time. I can take this rare opportunity to express my gratitude. His smile was very bright and sincere. You don't have to thank me, Wang Yao said. I came here to ask for your help. Please go ahead. Recently, there have been a lot of rumors on the internet that are not good for our stockade, Miaoshi River said. Me? Guizhenghe was stunned. Why don't you look for your county or city? Well, I am afraid they can't do that, Miaoshi River said. This is not easy for me to do, Guizhenghe said. Secretary Gua, although we have had some conflicts, there is no hatred between us, right? Of course not. There is no conflict. How can there be hatred? Guizhenghe poured him a cup of tea with a smile. Have some tea. Thank you. Miaoshi has stared at the teacup and suddenly said, no matter how I think about it, Secretary Gua is the only one who can do something like that. Huh? Gua Jinghe was stunned. Chief Miao, you think too highly of me. I will leave this matter to you, Miaoshi River said. If you can help us get through this storm, our stockade will be very grateful to you. Since Chief Miao said so, I will give it a try, but I can't guarantee success, Gua Jinghe said after thinking for a while. Okay, thank you. You are welcome. After that, Miaoshi River left. He politely declined Gua Jinghe's invitation to stay for dinner. Standing by the window, Gua Jinghe watched them leave the courtyard below and asked, Uncle Su, what do you think? Young master, I suggest you go to the king pharmacist's place, Su Xinyuan said. Do you suspect that he has poisoned me? Well, it is very likely, Su Xinyuan said. He probably came here because he suspected you. I suggest you use your connections to get out of here immediately. It is too dangerous. Gua Jinghe's face did not look very good after hearing that. Chief, he was the one who did it, Miaoshi said. Yes, I put a curse on him. Let's see what he does next. Yes. That day, Gua Jinghe went to the stockade where Wu San was. He received news that Wu San had left the stockade. No one knew where he had gone 7 days ago. He ran away. Gua Jinghe suddenly felt a severe headache. A warm stream flowed out of his nose. He reached out and wiped it. It was blood. This is bad. He frowned. Curse poison. He was sure that he had been poisoned. The nearest person who could save him was not there. There were only 2 places left that could remove the curse: the Valley of Thousands of Medicine and Nanshan Hill. Arrange it right away. We'll go to Lianshan County in Qi Province. Yes, young master. Su Xinyuan swayed twice as he spoke. He then sat on the ground. He had also been poisoned. In the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Chief, they have gone to the uncle's place. What about Wu San? He disappeared 2 weeks ago. Well, my brother is a sensible person, Miaoshi River said. Chief, how should we deal with the possible counterattack? Miao Qingfeng asked. Now that things had come to this point, the 2 of them were completely opposed to each other. It was almost to the point where they would fight to the death. Jing! Miaoshi River stood up and looked outside. His face was unprecedentedly solemn. He did not want to face such a big monster. If it did not work, he would have to use that trick. The snowflakes began to fall in the wee hours of the morning. They were the heaviest near dawn. They were much lighter in the early morning. Chapter 983. In the past few days, 3 young people had come to the village to see Wang Yao. They came every day. Their illness was a bit special. They would get sick at a specific time every day. They would twitch all over and lose the ability to speak. However, they were conscious. Wang Yao diagnosed them and found that they had been infected with a special toxin. The cause of their illness was also very strange. The 3 of them had all gone to the same mountain. After returning, they all got sick on the same day. At first, they didn't get sick for a long time, but gradually they got sick at a fixed time and got sick for a long time. Didn't you touch anything special when you were on the mountain? Wang Yao was curious. He wanted to know how they got infected with this strange disease. Well, yes. The 3 young people hesitated after hearing this question. Let me tell you, the young man who was the leader said. We went to a place, a collapsed ancient tomb, the young man said. Ancient tomb? Yes, well, it's not really an ancient tomb. It should be a tomb from the Republic of China, the young man said. There was no decent protection there. It was just a circle. Did you go in? Well, I was curious, so I went in to have a look, the young man said. Wang Yao chuckled after hearing that. Young people nowadays were really interesting. These tombs had always been regarded as an inauspicious symbol. On weekdays, except for the days when they had to go there, the living were not willing to go to the tombs of their relatives. Of course, ancient tombs with hidden treasures were an exception. These young people were really interesting. They actually wanted to go in to have a look. What's in there? Nothing, just a broken coffin, the young man said. Did you touch it? Yes, I patted it, the young man said. How dare you? Wang Yao said with a smile. Ordinary people would think that those things were very inauspicious when they saw them. They would take a detour. Wang Yao didn't expect them to be so bold and strange. They even went in and touched the coffin. Dr. Wang, can you treat our illness? The young man asked. Yes, Wang Yao said with a smile. This was the conversation they had when they met. Then, Wang Yao began the treatment. In the process of treatment, he found that the poison in the three young people was more stubborn than he had imagined. That's right, stubborn. It was only after taking the detoxification powder for 3 consecutive days that the poison was completely removed. All right, the poison in your bodies has been completely cured. That's it. You know what you're doing. You didn't have a relapse yesterday, right? Yes, they said in unison. In fact, they had already felt the effects on the first day of taking the medicine. Although they would still have an attack, the duration of the attack was obviously shortened by more than half. At that time, they felt joy and shock. It was effective. He had come to the right place. After the first treatment, they saw hope, so, without hesitation, they couldn't wait for the next treatment. The next day, something even more shocking happened. The disease didn't act up for the entire day. The three of them were so happy that they couldn't sleep the whole night. Now that he heard Wang Yao say that his illness was cured, he was naturally happy. At the same time, he was a little worried that his illness would relapse. If I say it's done, then it's done. Thank you, Dr. Wang, the three young people said. The three of them happily paid the consultation fee and then left happily. Hey, do you think we've really recovered? Will it relapse? That's easy. Since we're here, we'll stay here for 2 more days and wait. If the disease still doesn't act up in a few days, then we can basically confirm that we've recovered. If it does, we'll come back to see him again. Yes, that's settled. In this way, the three young people didn't go home. Instead, they went back to Lianshan County to live. Not long after lunch, a guest came to the clinic. It was a guest who surprised him. Guisairu. She was still as beautiful as a flower, but she was a little thin. Why are you here? I'm here to see you. There's something troublesome. Guisairu sighed softly. Come, sit down and tell me what's the matter. Please help me see a doctor. Guisairu sat down and said. See a doctor? You? Wang Yao asked with a smile. There's no big problem with your body. You just need a rest. Relax. Don't think too much. Wang Yao could see that Guisairu had a lot on her mind. She was a little worried. It's not me. It's my brother, Zhenghe. Mystical, what's wrong with him? He's in He County. He's been poisoned, Guisairu said. Poison in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Yes, it's there, Guisairu said. Well, okay, come on. Wang Yao hesitated for a moment before saying. To be honest, he didn't have any good feelings about Guisairu. However, he appreciated his sister very much. He treated her as a friend. If a friend wanted to help, he would naturally help. Okay, I'll let him come. In fact, Guizhenghe was already in hike. After receiving a call from his sister, he rushed over by car. By the time he arrived, it was already past 4 p.m. He didn't look like a human anymore. Yes, it was that serious. His face was twisted and pale. He had almost lost consciousness and was in a coma. Zhenghe. Seeing her brother like this, Guisairu rushed forward. Don't touch him. Wang Yao stopped her. The poison in his body may be contagious. He was not the only one who came. Su Xinyuan was also infected with the poison, and it was just as serious. It's another kind of poison. Recently, Wang Yao had seen 3 patients. Each time, it was a different poison and a different disease. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine is indeed an expert in this area. They have done a lot of research. How is he? Guisairu was very worried and anxious. Fortunately, I came in time, Wang Yao said after checking. This goo worm was very troublesome. It spread very quickly and entered the internal organs. It even entered the brain. If he had come half a day later, the disease would have been incurable. It would cause irreversible damage to the body. Even with his current strength, it would take a lot of effort to treat it. He needed to use a lot of precious magic herbs. Okay, get ready for treatment. He used the miasma grass as the main ingredient to prepare the herbs to cure the poison. He then boiled the regather soup to strengthen the body and accelerate the recovery of the injured internal organs. After taking the medicine, the 2 of them vomited and had diarrhea. They vomited a lot of disgusting blood with a nauseating smell. Looking at the blood on the ground, Wang Yao said, What's the point of these people studying these harmful things? These people must be punished. Guosairu's expression was extremely unsightly because her brother was enduring unimaginable pain and was crying out in pain. How strong of a person was he normally was? Even if he was cut by a knife, he would not make a sound. Chapter 984. After vomiting and having diarrhea for a while, Guo Zhenghe slowly woke up. The first person he saw was his closest relative, his sister, who loved him the most. Then he saw the person he didn't want to see, Wang Yao. Zhenghe, sister, I'm sorry to make you worry. Thank you, sir. Guo Zhenghe's voice was very weak because his body was too weak. Phew, you finally woke up. Seeing that he had woken up, Guosairu was a little relieved. You scared me. You didn't tell our mother, did you? No, Guosairu said. Uncle Su. He turned his head with difficulty and looked around. He saw Su Xinyuan, who had woken up beside him. I'm sorry to have troubled you. You are too polite, child, Su Xinyuan said. He was actually very touched. After Wang Yao woke up, he quickly thought of him, which proved that he didn't follow the wrong person. All the efforts were worth it. Find a quiet place and let them have a good rest. Come back in 2 days. Wang Yao said. He was only treating the two of them temporarily. Obviously, he didn't have the conditions to let them rest there. Okay. Guosairu immediately made a phone call. Soon, someone came. It was very simple. This was Qi Province, which was the territory of their father. Thank you, sir. You are welcome. Have a good rest. Don't be too tired. Okay. They didn't go to Lianshan. Instead, they went to live in a villa and hike. The place was not far from the mountain village. It was less than an hour's drive, but it was very quiet and suitable for recuperation. Moreover, they had hired people to take care of their daily needs. Zhenghe, do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? I'm fine, sister. I feel much better now. Guo Zhenghe's face had recovered some color. It was not as frighteningly pale as when he died in the mountain village. However, he still didn't have much strength. The severe pain had consumed too much of his spirit and physical strength. Listen to me this time. Go to that place as soon as you go back. Oh, okay, Guo Zhenghe whispered. Sis, you should rest too. You must be exhausted after a long day. I'm not tired. You sleep first. I'll cook you a bowl of porridge. Don't bother. Just let those people do it. You go and rest for a while, Guo Zhenghe said. At this time, he thoroughly understood the importance of family. At this time, the most reliable and caring people were his family members. You sleep for a while. I'm going out first. Call me if you need anything. AI. That day, Guosairu was really tired because she was worried and had been running around. After returning to the bedroom, she lay on the bed and fell asleep quickly. In another room, Guo Zhenghe stared at the ceiling. He was very tired, but he couldn't sleep. He didn't want to sleep. After suffering such a torment, he made his family worry and put his followers' life at risk. I can't just let this matter go like this. Miaoshi River must die. Knock, knock, knock. Someone was knocking on the door. Come in. Creak. The door opened. Su Xinyuan came in from outside. His face was pale. Uncle Su, why don't you lie down? Seeing the person coming in, Guo Zhenghe supported his body to sit up. He wanted to get out of bed, but he didn't have the strength. Lie down, don't get up. I just came to have a look and say a few words to you. Sit down, Guo Zhenghe said. What are you talking about? Wait until you're better. Now, he really regarded Su Xinyuan as one of his own. During this time, he understood a lot of things and saw a lot of people clearly. Child, how are you going to deal with this matter? How? Guo Zhenghe turned his head and looked in the direction of the door. There's no one outside. I sent them away. Miaoshi River must die. Guo Zhenghe said. When he said this, he was unusually calm. It was as if he was drinking water and eating. However, Su Xinyuan felt the cold wind was like a knife from his words. Well, we have to plan well. Uncle Su, what do you think? Child, I haven't suffered such a big loss in a long time, and more than once, Su Xinyuan said. If I were in the past, I would find a way to blow up the valley of thousands of medicine. This sentence made his attitude clear. Then think about what to do, Wang Yao said. I already have a plan. Let's hear it. Guo Zhenghe slowly explained his thoughts. Su Xinyuan's eyes lit up as he listened. What do you think? Wonderful, this is wonderful. But this person must be reliable, Guojinghe added. Don't worry, I'll find this person. Well, the first step is done. I'll do the second step. The two of them, one having trouble walking and the other unable to stand up, made a plan in the room. In the valley of thousands of medicine, thousands of miles away. How is it? They left Nanha very quickly. Our people wanted to follow them, but they lost them. Lost them? Yes. Our people also put 2 people on credit. Who are they? I don't know, but they should be people from the Gua family. Have they been exposed? I don't think so, Miao Qingfeng said. Well, I see. Miaoshi River waved his hand. Miaoshi River left. Zhao Yongho, who was waiting outside, hurriedly asked after seeing him come out, How is it? The patriarch has no good ideas. Let's think about it. What do you think? I think I know where they went. Is it the mountain village you mentioned? It's most likely there, Zhao Yongho said. Is that person really that scary? Scary, Zhao Yongho said. Now that I think about it, even with my current ability, I can't fight against him. I don't know what Uncle Su is capable of, but that person makes people despair. How can he be so capable at such a young age? Miao Qingfeng asked. How about we send someone to check it out first? Check it out, or send someone to die? Zhao Yongho asked. Let's talk to him. There are a few people in the village who are very capable. It shouldn't be a big problem, Miao Qingfeng said. Besides, you can't be sure that the Gua family can invite him, right? It's better to be safe than sorry. Master won't lose, Miao Qingfeng said. 2 days later, in the mountain village, Guozhenghe and Su Xinyuan received a second round of treatment. After this round of treatment, both of them were able to walk, but their bodies had not fully recovered. All right, the poisonous insect in your bodies are almost all removed, Miao Qingfeng said. The next thing to do is to recuperate. Come back in 3 days. I'll check you again. Okay, thank you, sir. Chapter 985. Drive slowly. You should rest more, Wang Yao said to Guisairu. I see that you are very tired. If you continue like this, your body will not be able to take it. Okay. They returned to the villa in Hike where they were temporarily living. Sister, I see that you don't look well. You should rest more, Guojing has said with concern. He saw that his sister's face was a little pale. I'm going to sleep, Guisairu said. She felt that she could not wake up. She just lacked sleep. Go ahead, sister. Guisairu, who had walked to the door, stopped and looked back at her brother. Don't marry that person from the Zhou family if you don't like him. I support you, Guojing has said. Guisairu was stunned when she heard her brother's words. In the past, her brother in front of her had been very supportive of her marriage with the Zhou family. It was a typical political marriage. There was no such thing as feelings. Feelings could be cultivated slowly. Most people thought so, including most people from big families. Lie down and have a good rest. We'll talk about the future later. Not long after Guisairu left, Su Xinyuan knocked on the door and came in. Uncle Su, sit down. Guozhenghe personally poured him a glass of water. Hey child, sit down. How do you feel? Su Xinyuan asked. I feel much better. Well, me too, Su Xinyuan said. Much better. Wang Yao's medical skills are really extraordinary. In terms of medical skills alone, he is indeed amazing. I have never seen such magical medical skills in my life. Not even in Jing, Guojing has said. It's a pity that he can't be used by me. Ah, the people I arrange have already arrived in Hike. That's fast. Yes. Be sure to tell them not to let the cat out of the bag. I know, Su Xinyuan said. In Zhong Liuchuan's small courtyard in the mountain village, he and Jia Zizai sat opposite each other. In front of them was a stone table with a chessboard and black and white chess pieces crisscrossed. Senior brother, can't you let me win? Jia Zizai asked. How can I give you a handicap? If I give you a handicap, I'll lose. It's a fine chessboard, but you insist on playing Gamoku. Don't underestimate Gamoku. There's a lot going on inside. Why can't I win against you? Jia Zizai said. Sir, are you very busy these days? Yes, there have been a lot of foreign license plates coming to the village recently, Zhong Liuchuan said. He put down a white piece. You lost. I don't want to. I lose every time. Jia Zizai said. How's Anshin's study? It's pretty good. Her homeroom teacher has praised her more than once. Well, I'm sure our girl won't be too bad. Would you like to invite Mr. over for dinner tonight? What happened? It feels like we haven't gotten together for a long time. Well, it's my treat this time, Zhong Luchuan said. Let's have dinner at my house. Today is Friday. Anshin will come back in the afternoon. That's settled, Zhong Luchuan said. Hey, I'll pick up our sister with you in the afternoon and go to Lianshan Town Center. Sure. The two of them chatted while drinking tea. At about 4:30 p.m., they went out together. They were going to Lianshan Town Center. Huh? Jia's eyes suddenly stopped and looked toward Shishan Hill. What's wrong? Nothing, Zhong Luchuan said. Maybe I was wrong. Let's go. The two of them drove out of the mountain village. On Shishan Hill, a man was walking along the ridge toward Nanshan Hill. His medical skills are superb, and the medicine he uses is even more magical. The reason why his treatment is so effective has a lot to do with the medicine. The root cause may be here. He often lives on Nanshan Hill, so most of the medicine he uses is on Nanshan Hill. Therefore, I could send someone to Nanshan Hill to look for it. The man went straight to Nanshan Hill. Huh, stones? When he was close to Nanshan Hill, he saw a few big stones. He took a few steps and found that there were still stones in front of him. He continued to turn around, but after a few steps, he still saw stones. He turned around abruptly, but he still saw stones. What's going on? All of a sudden, he was sweating profusely. He turned left and right. No matter how he walked, there were stones in front of him, behind him, left and right. The stones were of different sizes, but they were all higher than him. He couldn't go around them. Let's climb up and have a look. After walking for a while, he suddenly had a flash of inspiration. He began to climb the stones. However, when he was halfway up, he missed a step and fell from the stone. Climb again. Finally, he succeeded in climbing onto a large rock. When he climbed up, he was stunned. His face turned pale. There were no trees, no roads, and the scenery he saw when he came here was gone. He couldn't see anything. There were only rocks. It was as if the entire mountain was filled with rocks. These damn stones. He looked up at the sky. The sun had set. At this moment, he felt the world was spinning. Then, he fell to the ground. Woof, woof, woof. What's barking, dog? A lion. Where did the lion come from? With a start, he jumped up from the ground and took a closer look. It's a lion. Yes, it's a dog. It's huge like a lion. There was a person standing next to the dog. It was a young man who was staring at him. Who are you? What are you doing here? Wang Yao stared at the man in front of him. He smelled a familiar scent on the man. I came here by mistake, the man said. You're from southern Yunnan, Wang Yao suddenly said. Hearing this, the man's eyes unconsciously blinked. His body trembled slightly. Really? What are you doing here? Who asked you to come here, Miaoshi River? Wang Yao's tone was a little cold. At this point, the man's hand moved. Then, he suddenly knelt on the ground and couldn't move. Forget it. Wang Yao waved his hand, and the man fainted. What's going on? That was what he thought before he fainted. At the foot of the mountain, Jia Zizai and Zhong Luchuan had picked up Zhong Anshin from Lianshan County. They bought a lot of things and prepared dinner. I'll help, Hu Mei said. No, I could do it myself, Zhong Luchuan said. Let's go together. At this time, Jia Zizai's phone suddenly rang. She picked it up and looked at it. Sir, what? Okay, we'll be right there, Zhong Luchuan said. Brother, sir is looking for us, Hu Mei said. Okay, Zhong Luchuan said. Zhong Luchuan said a few words to his sister, then went out with them. They went to an idol house near Shishan Mountain. After entering, they saw a person who had fainted on the ground. What's going on, sir? This man suddenly went up Nanshan Hill and mistakenly entered the stone battle array, Wang Yao said. I smelled a familiar smell on him. This man may be from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine? They went up Nanshan Hill. Yes. You have a death wish. Jia Zizai stared at the man on the ground. Her eyes were cold and murderous. Ask him who asked him to come, Wang Yao said. You are professionals in this area. Okay, leave it to us, sir. Dinner was as usual, but it ended quickly. They didn't drink because they still had things to do. In the abandoned hut on Shishan Hill, The unconscious man woke up and found that he had been firmly tied up and couldn't move. There was a rag stuffed in his mouth. There were two people in front of him. "You're awake. Let's talk." There was a painful scream from the hut, but it didn't travel far before it disappeared. The people at the foot of the mountain couldn't hear it at all. "I have a bad temper," Zhong Luchuan said. "There are some things I'll ask you once." Early the next morning, the three of them went up to Dongshan Hill, as usual. Wang Yao also came early. "Sir, I got the answer." "Who?" "It was someone from southern Yunnan who asked him to come," Jia Zizai said. He didn't see who it was, but he was asked to explore the way. He was mainly aiming for Nanshan Hill. It should be related to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. "Okay, thank you," Wang Yao said. "Sir, you're being too polite," Jia Zizai hurriedly said. "Exploring the way? Is it because Sir cured those people who were infected with the insect poison?" Zhong Luchuan asked. "It's not just them. I'm afraid it has something to do with Secretary Gua." Wang Yao immediately thought of Guo Jinghe. The other party was very likely to come because of him. Chapter 986. What about that man? Find a way to hand him over to the police. "I'll deal with him," Wang Yao said. Then he made a phone call. Soon, someone came to take the man away. "TSK. What's going on? Is he being lynched?" A police officer in the police car asked after seeing the man's miserable appearance. "He is trespassing. It may be normal self-defense," a police officer said. "What the F***CK? How can he be so defensive?" The intruder wanted to shout, but he swallowed the words back when he thought of how terrible those people were. He had failed this time. If he had known, he wouldn't have taken this job. In a quiet villa in Hike. "Child, the plan is going well. The man has been taken away by the police," a police officer said. "Well, good." Guizheng stood in front of the window and looked outside. From here, he could see the scene not far away. If he opened the window and listened carefully, he could hear the sound of waves hitting the shore. In the town police station in Lianshan County. "What? Stealing medicine? Dianan?" Hearing the man's confession, the police officer who was investigating the case was stunned. Dianan was in the southernmost part of Lianshan County. It was not far from here. This man actually came to such a small county from so far away to steal medicine in such a corner. He was so creative and talented. "How do you know Dr. Wang?" a police officer asked. In this small county, Wang Yao was very famous now. Everyone's relatives and sick people were cured when they went to his clinic. Even some strange diseases that could not be treated in big hospitals could be treated in his clinic. Most of the cost was not particularly expensive. This was a good karma. A considerable number of people felt that they owed Wang Yao a favor. This police officer was one of them. As soon as they heard that he stole medicine, they took it very seriously. They had to ask carefully. "I really don't know. I didn't even see the client's face." "He came without seeing you?" the police officer asked. Did he pay?" "And the round-trip plane ticket has been arranged. The conditions are very generous. There's no reason to refuse," the person said. Until now, his body was still sore all over. Thinking back to the night in the small house on the mountain, he was still scared. At that time, he was really worried that those people would kill him directly. That cold evil chi was definitely not something that an ordinary person should have. Those people must have been stained with blood and killed people. "You do it just because I give you money? Aren't you afraid that you'll become a scapegoat?" "What scapegoat? It's not that serious," the man said. "I'm just here to find a place to have a look. I'm not here to kill or set a fire." Through the questioning of this person, they did not get any useful information, but they were sure that someone in southern Yunnan, thousands of miles away, was targeting Wang Yao, which made them very puzzled. Is Dr. Wang's medical skills so famous that it has spread to that place? There is also such a possibility, the police officer said. The news has spread, and people there did come to see him. For some reason, they found such a person. You just heard that he was going to go to the clinic when it was dark, but he was caught before he could. "Do you think they want Dr. Wang's prescription?" the police officer asked. Pharmaceutical is a profiteering industry. Dr. Wang's medical skills are so magical. I'm afraid that his prescription is also unusual. Well, this possibility is not small, but there are no other clues. The case could be considered to have been preliminarily investigated. The crime committed by this person was not big, but it would definitely teach him a lesson and let him know that he could not just go anywhere. In the mountain village, sir, my friends over there have asked around. Recently, the Valley of Thousands of Medicine has been very lively. In a clinic, Jia Zizai and Wang Yao talked about the news they had heard. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine has been exposed on the internet, Wang Yao said. Many people have gone there, but most of them have strange coma, convulsions, diarrhea, and so on. These are some messy symptoms. Oh, by the way, a person died on the road yesterday. The cause of death was myocardial infarction. Someone died? Yes, someone died. But the more it is like this, the more people go there. Well, is this a kind of reverse psychology? Wang Yao said. Yes, my friends over there have investigated, Wang Yao said. Someone must be adding fuel to the fire. Otherwise, such information on the internet would have disappeared a long time ago. But now, it seems to be getting more and more intense. Secretary Guo? Jia Zizai analyzed. The first person, I thought it was him. He is in that place and has a direct conflict with the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Jia Zizai said. The places under his jurisdiction have had accidents one after another because of that place. He was poisoned himself, and his sister was poisoned as well. If he could not have a knot in his heart, then he would be a saint. This time, the poisoning is even more serious. Sir, you also said that if he had come later, he might have died. This is an endless hatred. I guess that the Valley of Thousands of Medicine has found out something and directly made a move against him. Well, this possibility is very high, Wang Yao said. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine is really bold. So many people have died, and they can't get away with it. They directly attacked the ruler of a place. They are ignorant and fearless. Yes, in any case, he is a cadre in charge of a county, Wang Yao said. The family behind him is unusually powerful. I don't believe that the Valley of Thousands of Medicine doesn't know. They are ready to fight to the death. Have some tea. Yes. Sir, this person may have come with Guo Zhenghe, Jia Zizai said. Well, this is very likely, Wang Yao said. This is not the last one. He is here to explore. Such a powerful place generally did not allow such a person to easily detoxify their insects. As a result, the things they had painstakingly researched would not be enough of a deterrent. Wouldn't their years of research be in vain? Sir, we have to take precautions early. Yes. Wang Yao nodded. He was not afraid, but he still had family in the village. Those people could use any kind of extreme means. From today on, we'll take turns to walk around the village. Well, I will tell Daxia to keep an eye out, Wang Yao said. The goshawk on Nanshan Hill was quite intelligent. It could understand a lot of what Wang Yao said. That would be best. Just as they were talking in the clinic, a person came to the entrance of the mountain village. This is the place. His voice was a little hoarse. He did not enter the village along the road. Instead, he went to the top of Dongshan Hill. He followed the mountain path to a high place, overlooking the small village. He suddenly found something. He ran toward Nanshan Hill like a madman. After a few turns, he saw Nanshan Hill. How is this possible? He was stunned. Such a strong aura. He rubbed his eyes hard. It can't be wrong. He continued to move forward and came to the border between Dongshan Hill and Nanshan Hill. Hiss! He breathed greedily. The aura here is even stronger than the one in the stockade. He picked up his mobile phone and took a picture. He immediately sent it back. Soon, he received a call. Yes, sir. Yes, Patriarch. I'm at the foot of this mountain. Yes, there are no mountains nearby. It's just a hill. I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong. I'm very sensitive to this kind of aura. This is simply the legendary paradise. Good. He got closer and took a video. It was only March. Logically speaking, most of the trees in the north had not even sprouted. But here, the mountain was green and full of vitality like a rainforest in the south. Woof! At this time, there was a sudden roar. It was very loud, like a lion's roar. Then, a big dog appeared in front of him. What a big dog! The man was stunned, but there was no expression of fear on his face. Instead, he looked at the big dog with interest. This must be the result of the rich aura on this mountain. He took a picture with his mobile phone. The dog bared its teeth and was ready to attack. Lie down obediently. Chapter 987. He casually waved his hand, and a gray mist flashed past. It instantly arrived in front of the dog, and then disappeared. Woof! The dog shook its head and shook its body. It then rushed forward. F***, what's going on? Just as he was panicking, the big dog that looked like a lion had already arrived in front of him. He hurriedly rolled away, but he was hit by the big mouth. As a result, he felt a huge force on his back, and he almost spat out blood. What a strong force! At the foot of the mountain, in the clinic. Huh? Wang Yao suddenly stood up and looked outside. What's wrong, sir? I just heard San Xian's roar, Wang Yao said. Someone came up the mountain uninvited. I'll go and have a look. Jia's eyes showed a murderous aura. Let's go together, Wang Yao said. When they arrived, they saw a wretched cripple lying on the ground. He was covered in blood. He breathed in more than he breathed out. There was a lion-like dog standing next to him. It opened its mouth and wagged its tail happily after seeing them. This is not a F***king dog at all. The man looked at the dog with indescribable shock in his eyes. He had used almost all of his means, including poison, insects, and knives, but the dog in front of him was immune to all kinds of poisons and insects. It was also miraculously invulnerable. His knife could not cut it at all. Even a real lion could not do this. He was confident that he could deal with it. The animal in front of him was not a dog at all. It was a monster. This is interesting. Wang Yao stared at the man on the ground. How can it not be afraid of poison and insects? The man asked almost subconsciously with a face full of despair. You mean San Xian? It is immune to all kinds of poisons and evils. Wang Yao patted the dog's head. On the mountain, it was baptized by the aura day and night. Wang Yao often fed it with some medicine, including all kinds of licorice roots. It was no longer an ordinary animal. Zizai, I'll leave it to you. No problem, sir. Jia Zizai smiled and said, I like interrogation the most. Interrogation? Hearing this, the man's body suddenly twitched. I'm sorry, Patriarch. I won't be able to see your dream. You want to die? Just as he was struggling on the ground, unwilling to accept his fate and prepared to face death, a majestic power suddenly enveloped his body. Are you trying to commit suicide by taking poison? Wang Yao took out a bowl of medicine and poured it down his throat. The pain in his body quickly subsided. The poison was cured. How is this possible? The man stared at Wang Yao with his eyes wide open. This was a poison from the stockade, and the prescription was provided by the chief himself. Only a few people in the village could detoxify this poison. Although he carried the antidote with him, he was prepared to die at this point. He did not expect this young man to detoxify this terrible poison so easily. Who are you? He looked at the young man in front of him. He was so young. How could he have such ability? Whose disciple was he? How come he had never heard of such a person? Were they too conservative? Why don't you have a good relationship with yourself? Jiazizai picked him up with one hand and went directly to the cottage on the West Hill. Fortunately, I've told the chief about what happened here. Without the threat of the insect poison, he was not a professional agent after all. On the same day, Jiazizai learned most of the information she wanted to know from him. You're really something. Be good and stay here. After throwing the tortured man into a corner, Jiazizai went down the hill and told Wang Yao what she knew. Miaoshi River again? Yes. He really won't give up his evil intentions. Wang Yao sneered. Sir, do you want me to go to southern Yunnan and meet him? No. Wang Yao waved his hand. Let's wait and see, Wang Yao said. I think they'll send someone over. Didn't you check his phone? Some things have been sent out. Chief Miao should know by now. Then let's wait. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in the valley of thousands of medicine, Miao Shiha received the news and pictures from the people he sent to the mountain village in the north. He was stunned for a long time before he came back to his senses. How could there be such a place in the north? He was excited, confused, and uneasy. Ching Feng. He quickly called his most trusted disciple over. Chief, what's the matter? Look at this. He handed the phone to Miao Qing Feng. This is... You sent people there? Yes, but they were caught and defeated by a dog. A dog? Miao Qing Feng was stunned. He knew very well what the people in the stockade were capable of, and the people he sent out were definitely experts. These people had been in the village for many years and had seen many ferocious beasts and poisonous insects. Not to mention a dog. Even a lion or a tiger might not be able to defeat them. They also had goo poison in their bodies, so how could they be defeated by a dog? I'll send someone to check. By the way, has Ing Hao been there? Yes. Tell him to go there too. Yes, Miao Qing Feng replied. After coming out of Miaoshi River's room, Miao Qing Feng quietly walked alone on the road in the stockade. He came to the lakeside before he knew it. He took out a cigarette from his pocket and lit it, which was very rare. What's the matter? Are you smoking? A voice came from behind. It was Zhao Young-ho, who had a dark face. It was a very rare person with a different surname in the stockade. I just met the chief. He has something for you to do. What is it? Go to the mountain village. Which mountain village? The one in the north? Zhao Young-ho was stunned at first, but he immediately understood. Yes, that's the one. No problem. What are you going to do? I'm going to check it out. Check? Check what? You're not the only one going. The people in the stockade are going with you. Ing Hao. Miao Qing Feng patted him on the shoulder. They were of the same age, although they did not spend a lot of time together. Unlike the people in the stockade who had been together since they were young, they still felt very close to each other. Listen to me. No matter what, staying alive is the most important thing, Miao Qing Feng said. As long as they were alive, anything was possible. If they were dead, they would lose everything. This was the truth. I know. Zhao Young-ho nodded solemnly. The memory of how terrifying that young man was still fresh in his mind. The three of them, master and disciple, couldn't even fight back in front of that young man. In this place, there was no one who could withstand a single blow. That was a feeling of helplessness that made people despair. I'm just going to check it out. I won't fight with him. Okay. In Lianshan County, what's another one? Yes, another one is coming. He's coming for Dr. Wang. Hey, these people. These two cases in a row made several people in the county pay attention to it. These people were all indebted to Wang Yao. Their family members had been tortured by illness for several years, and they did not see any improvement. Wang Yao's medicine cured the illness. They really wanted to repay this kindness. Now, there was a clue. Tell the police station in the town to keep an eye on him. Okay. In the mountain village, Guo Jinghe came. Today was not the day for treatment, so he also came. I heard there is trouble here. Yes, some people came uninvited, Wang Yao said. I'm sorry. They should have followed me here, Guo Jinghe said. His complexion was obviously much better than a few days ago. It's too late to say now, Wang Yao said. Let them come. You have to be careful, Guo Jinghe said. These people have no bottom line when they do things. You don't have to be afraid. You have to consider your family. Well, yes. Thank you for the reminder, Wang Yao said. During this time, his parents had taken the potions he had concocted. Like Zhong Lu Chuan and the others, their bodies had become immune to all kinds of poisons. Those poisonous insects did not dare to approach them at all. They were not afraid of poisonous insects, but other things were hard to say. Moreover, he had his sister and brother-in-law's family. Secretary Guo, this matter was caused by you, Wang Yao said. You should be responsible for ending it. I'm dealing with this matter, Guo Jinghe said. Mr. Wang is rebellious. It won't be long before they stop making trouble. Chapter 988. That would be for the best, Wang Yao said. I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble. Guo Jinghe apologized again. He was sincere, at least on the surface. 1,000 cups of wine were not enough to drink with a bosom friend, but half a sentence was too much to speak with a bosom friend. These two people belonged to the latter group. Guo Jinghe also knew in his heart that these two people belonged to the latter group. Therefore, he didn't stay too long in Wang Yao's place. The people had arrived, the words had been spoken, and the meaning had been conveyed. If you need anything, just let me know. I'll go back first. Take care. Guo Jinghe left in a car. An hour later, he returned to hike. Young master, you're back. Uncle Su, don't call me young master, Guo Jinghe said. It makes me feel uncomfortable. We're not in the old days anymore. Call me Jinghe. Okay. Su Xinyuan nodded. He only responded verbally. Have a seat. I just went to the clinic in the mountain village, Guo Jinghe said. Our people have arrived. The people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine have also arrived. They have been arrested. Is that so? They came so quickly, Su Xinyuan said. Wang Yao is already very dissatisfied with this matter. Guo Jinghe took a sip of tea. What do you mean? Although he is in a small mountain village, he is quite capable of doing anything he wants, Wang Yao said. Not to mention other places, just in Jing, I know at least 3 big families who owe him a favor. As long as his request is not too harsh, they will definitely help. Have some tea. Oh, thank you. Let's start the second step, Guo Jinghe said. Okay, but young master, what about your side? It's fine, Guo Jinghe said. I was suddenly poisoned this time, and I have already arranged a way out. I will be transferred to a department in Jing. Consider it as keeping a low profile and taking a break. That's good too. We'll be far away from that troublesome place, Su Xinyuan said. He agreed that the young master in front of him was definitely a dragon among men. With such a family background, he should definitely have a very good future. He should not delay his future in a small place like He County in southern Yunnan. Yes, Guo Jinghe nodded. In the village, inside the clinic, Wang Ziqing and Wang Yilong were father and son. The son accompanied his father to the checkup. Wang Yilong didn't care. He thought that these were just some minor problems, but Wang Ziqing was very nervous. He knew what disease his father had. Although his father's health was getting better and better in a short time, he didn't know what kind of disease his father had and whether it was really cured. Done. Wang Yao checked Wang Yilong. Okay, really? Wang Ziqing was surprised. Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you? Wang Yao smiled. Great, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Wang Ziqing was so happy that he was a little incoherent. He felt that his efforts were worth it. Well, we can go back and celebrate. Yes, yes. Wang Ziqing was very happy. His father, Wang Yilong, was a little puzzled. Let's go. Okay. After leaving the clinic, Wang Yilong asked his son, What's going on? Why are you so happy? Dad, your illness is cured. I know. I feel that my body has no problem recently, but didn't I say before that it's just a minor problem? A minor problem is also an illness. Now that the minor problem is cured, we have to celebrate. Cook a few more dishes tonight. Let's have a few drinks. Okay. Wang Yilong clapped his hands. His son had changed and found a new job. A few days ago, his grandson also got 2 full scores in the exam. It was a happy family. When he returned home, Wang Yao also told his parents about it. Good. Yilong has finally come to the suite. Zhang Xiaoying was gratified after hearing that. Yeah, Wang Fenghua echoed and happily lit a cigarette for himself. In the evening, in the herbal field on Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao looked up at the sky. San Xian, it will rain tomorrow. Woof! Here. Wang Yao handed a vine to the dog. This was the licorice roots polygonum vine. He found that the dog liked to eat it very much. It felt like eating meat bones. No, it was more addictive than eating meat bones. That time, he saw the dog staring at the polygonum vine and drooling. He broke off a small piece and handed it to the dog. As a result, the dog chewed a few times. It was crunchy and then swallowed it into its stomach. It still wanted to eat it. Of course, if Wang Yao did not give it to the dog, it would not take the initiative to eat it. The dog was already very intelligent. Well, you can eat it occasionally to satisfy your cravings. This is a licorice root. I can't feed your appetite. Wang Yao smiled and patted the dog's huge head. He was telling the truth. The polygonum vine was slow to grow. It took a long time to grow to the length of a palm. This was under the blessing of the spirit-gathering battle array. If it was in other places, it probably could not grow at all. Go to sleep. He went into the house. The dog also went back to the kennel to lie down. After a while, the sound of chanting came out of the house. The light was dim. It was not until late at night that it went out. The next morning, the sun rose in the east. In the morning, a mother and son came to the clinic. They were from a He family in Beijing. It was the young man who was made of glass. "Hello, Dr. Wang. Sorry to trouble you again," the woman said with a smile. "You are welcome. Please sit down." "How do you feel?" the woman asked. "Good, very good," the young man said. His body was better. His whole person seemed to have changed. He was a lot more cheerful. In fact, not long ago, when they returned to the capital, they specially went to the best hospital in the capital for a full-body checkup. The results were pleasing. Her son's body had undergone an earth-shaking transformation, which shocked the specialist who had examined him more than once. He said that it was unbelievable and asked where they had received the treatment to be able to reach such a level. The final result of the examination was that although he had not fully recovered, he could already maintain the most basic life. The bones in his body had undergone fundamental changes. They were slowly improving themselves. He could even carry out a certain degree of aerobic activity. However, he had to be careful not to suffer major injuries. He had to avoid fractures as much as possible so as not to affect the current good recovery momentum. The results of the examination were no doubt evidence of the magic of Wang Yao's treatment. It strengthened their determination to continue to receive treatment there. "Well, let's start," Wang Yao said. They took medicine, did acupuncture, breathed, and took a medicinal bath. After the treatment, it was already afternoon. The young man was sweating. His face was ruddy. "It's so comfortable." "Well, it has fundamentally changed," Wang Yao said. "This is the last medicinal bath. The next step is to consolidate the corporeity and stabilize with medicine." Good. The woman nodded and said, "Thank you so much." Her son had been a sore point for her all these years. It was also a sore point for her family. When they went back to see these delightful changes during the Chinese New Year, the whole family was overjoyed. They said it was the best gift for the Chinese New Year. "You're welcome." After lunch, 3 to 5 patients came in the afternoon. It was close to evening. It was time to go home and finish dinner. On Shishan Hill, there were 2 figures. "Here?" "Yes, here it is." The 2 people came from southern Yunnan. They were from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. One of them was Zhao Young-ho. He had been there before and remembered the place clearly. "Where's the place in the photo?" "Just go over this hill," Zhao Young-ho said. The 2 of them went over the hill and saw Nanshan Hill in the distance. Under the light of the setting sun, it was lush and full of vitality. There was a faint mist lingering around it. "Good place, what a good place," the middle-aged man said. "I didn't expect there to be such a blessed place in such a place," he exclaimed. "Be careful," the middle-aged man said. "The one inside is like a land immortal." "A land immortal?" the middle-aged man asked. "Zhao, I think you are scared out of your wits," the middle-aged man said. "He is less than 30 years old. Even if he started to practice in his mother's womb, how powerful can he be?" Chapter 989. "You know a thing or two about the chief's abilities," the middle-aged man said. The old chief said that his talent was the highest in the stockade in the past 150 years, but he still had to work hard for decades to get to where he is now. "How strong can the young man you're talking about be?" "Very strong." Zhao Young-ho didn't explain too much. It was useless to explain. Only by seeing and experiencing it with one's own eyes could one know how terrifying that person was. "Well, I'll go take a look later," the middle-aged man said. "You wait here. If anything unexpected happens, you just retreat. I'll cover you. What do you think?" "Okay." Zhao Young-ho nodded. "Wait, there's someone." TSK. It's almost dark. What are you doing up the mountain instead of staying at home? Enjoying the scenery and the wind?" A man walked out from behind a tree. Jia Zizai held a cigarette in his mouth and looked at the 2 men in front of him. "You're from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, aren't you? You smell like dregs of medicine. Who are you?" The middle-aged man had already made his move when he asked the question. At the same time, he looked at Zhao Young-ho and found that he shook his head. He knew that the person in front of him was not Wang Yao. The invisible insect poison had been released. Soon, the person in front of him would lose the ability to resist and be in extreme pain. He would kneel and beg for mercy and tell everything. However, He soon found that he had miscalculated. The insect poison he released did not seem to have any effect at all. The person in front of him was completely fine. Well, what do you mean by that expression? Jia's eye smiled. Well, let's talk less. Let's get down to business. After saying that, Jia's eye came in front of the two men in one step. He's a martial artist. The two men thought to themselves. Swoosh! A silver light spilled out. It was a large number of flying needles. Hidden weapons? Jia's eye was so fast that he dodged to the side in an instant. The darts all missed. A bright light flashed. Blood splashed. A bloody wound about a foot long appeared on the middle-aged man's body. It was so deep that the bone was visible. Blood flowed out. Let's go, he said to Zhao Young-ho beside him. Once an expert made a move, one would know whether or not he was an expert. This person was very difficult to deal with, and he might not be his opponent. He could not allow both of them to die here. Zhao Young-ho retreated without hesitation. Jia's eye didn't stop him. He and the remaining man moved through the forest. After a while, one of the two men fell. Jia's eye stood there calmly. The middle-aged man who fought with him was covered in blood and had no strength to fight back. Let's go somewhere else to talk. He carried the man to the hut on the hill. On the other hand, Zhao Young-ho immediately reported what had happened to the stockade. Caught again? Miao Qingfeng was surprised. This time, the person who went was already an elder. He was already considered one of the best in their stronghold, but he died there again. Isn't that person Wang Yao? Yes, I didn't see him the last time I was here. Stay there and wait for my news. Don't act rashly. Got it. Zhao Young-ho left the mountain village and returned to Lianshan County. He found a place to stay. Sir, I caught another one. Are you hurt? I'm fine. I'm just warming up my muscles and bones. In the mountain village, Jia Zizai told Wang Yao that he had caught another person. The two of them went to the hut on the hill. Is it someone from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Yes, these people still don't give up, Jia Zizai said. They know there are tigers in the mountain, but they still go there. I admire their courage. The man on the ground had been tortured to death, but there were no visible wounds on the surface. This was the strength of a professional like Jia Zizai. Where's the phone? It was destroyed by him. There are two of them? Yes, the man ran away, Jia Zizai said. He originally wanted to stop them, but he didn't bring a gun. The man on the ground had a set of tricks. If it had been in the past, he might have been killed. This man has hidden weapons and these poisonous things on him. Hey, there are two big centipedes in here. Jia Zizai kicked the things that had been turned over from the man's body. There were two big red centipedes in a small cage. When he first opened it, it scared him. The centipedes were very afraid of his aura. Once he got close, the two big centipedes curled up in the small cage and didn't dare to move. Has the news been sent out? He leaned down and asked the man who was not very angry. Yes. He nodded. Now, he finally saw the young man who had been listening to Zhao Young-ho for a while. He was indeed very young. At the moment, he believed most of what Zhao Young-ho said. The man who had suppressed him was so respectful and polite to this young man. This young man's ability must be much higher than that man's. Just like in the stockade, the chief was the most powerful, so everyone was respectful to him, at least on the surface. In any society, in any place, strength always determines status. What else can you get out of him? Well, he should have said everything that can be said. All right, leave it to the police. Just like that, there was one more suspect in the police station that night. Went to the Wang family village again? Yes, to steal medicine. Hey, these people are from southern Yunnan, Wang Yao said. They came all the way here to steal medicine. They are really something. They are really something. Is it the same place? Let me check. It's really the same place. Well done, a gang crime. They are really something. In the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, thousands of miles away, something happened to Qingnan. Yes, he was arrested, the Miao Qingfeng said. Well, letting Hao come back, the Miaoxi River said after thinking for a moment. Over there, I'll go there myself after a while, the Miaoxi River said. Good. The Miao Qingfeng was shocked. In his impression, the chief rarely left the stockade. Even when he went out, it was in southern Yunnan. He had never heard of him leaving the province. This time, he was going to travel thousands of miles to the north. He came out of the room and unconsciously walked to the side of the rippling, buried God lake and lit a cigarette. The environment outside had changed. The wind was blowing before a storm. The patriarch was still the patriarch. He had amazing skills, but after all, he was in this corner of Dianan. There were some storms that he could not withstand alone. The night gradually deepened. On the wooden table in the cottage on Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao was writing a prescription. Wuding, Tai Mei, Changyang. The names of the herbs appeared on the white paper. He was thinking about another medicine for Zhong Luchuan, Jiazizai, and Humei. The previous medicine made them immune to all kinds of poisons and were not afraid of snakes, insects, rats, and ants. The medicine would strengthen their bodies and make them as strong as iron. Such an unusual medicine could not be made with ordinary herbs. The main herbs needed to use licorice roots. As he was thinking, the prescription on the white paper was gradually completed. Unknowingly, it was late at night. The mountain was very quiet. The next day, the sun rose in the east. Zheng Weijun came to the clinic early with a smile on his face. "It's past," Zheng Weijun said. "It's all past, sir." "The two medicines have passed the relevant procedures," Zheng Weijun said. "Yes, it's past," Zheng Weijun said. Logically speaking, this process would take a relatively long time. However, Zheng Weijun had thought of a way and walked his own path. He wanted to speed up the production of these two drugs as much as possible and bring the time forward. This was a chicken that could lay eggs. He held it in his hand and wanted it to lay eggs as soon as possible. Well, since the procedures have been completed, we could try to make a batch of medicine and see how effective it is. "Okay, I'll arrange it," Zheng Weijun said. "Don't worry about the herbs. I guarantee the quality." Good. After chatting for a while and drinking a few cups of tea, he left in a hurry. He went to the pharmaceutical factory in town to work on his business. With the addition of these two medicines, there would be a total of 3 medicines. 3 products in less than half a year. He believed in the effects of these two medicines. With the primordial spirit soup as a lead, its efficacy was the best advertisement. The sales of these two medicines would definitely not be a problem. In fact, it would be much smoother than before. He could tell from the conversation just now. Chapter 990. In the past, Zhong Luchuan was the one begging Wang Yao. Now, Wang Yao was the one begging Zhong Luchuan. Zhong Luchuan was flushed with success. In the morning, 3 patients came in. They all had common colds and fevers. There was nothing special about them. In his spare time, Zhong Luchuan pondered over the prescription he had thought of the night before and made appropriate additions and modifications. In a flash, the day passed. In the evening, Zhong Luchuan went up Nanshan Hill and began to brew medicine. Wuding, Tai Mei, Changyang, most of the herbs were precious licorice roots. It was not until late at night that the lights on the hill went out. The next morning, he did not receive any patients. Instead, he called Zhong Luchuan, Jiazizai, and Humei to his clinic. "What can I do for you, sir? I've brewed a new medicine. Who wants to try it? What's the effect? It strengthens the muscles and bones, opens the heart pores, calms the 5 internal organs, and clears the 9 apertures," Wang Yao said. "It sounds very high and mighty." Jiazizai said, "Shall I go first?" "Hey, how can we monopolize such a good thing? Let's drink it together," Humei said with a smile. "That's fine. Drink it and see how it works." The 3 of them drank the medicine separately. It was warm and comfortable when it entered their abdomens. The heat spread throughout their limbs and bones in a very short time. They felt full of strength. "How do you feel?" Zhong Luchuan asked. "I feel like I've been injected with stimulants. I'm full of strength, but I don't feel manic," Jiazizai said after thinking for a moment. "Come on, let me check you." Zhong Luchuan checked their pulses. The medicine was working. It was mainly in the muscles and bones and the 5 internal organs. "Well, there's nothing else." Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. "Come back in 2 days. By the way, it's best to continue practicing after you go back. It will help with the absorption of the medicine." Okay. The 3 of them left together. Brother, do you think Sir is going to train us into supermen who are immune to poison and have steel and iron bones? Jia Zizai joked. Why? You don't like it? Zhong Luchuan asked. I like it. It would be best if you could give us more abilities, such as immortality. Immortality? You really know how to think. Hu Mei rolled her eyes at him. Hey, wifey, let me tell you something, Jia Zizai said. According to the information I got, Miaoshi River from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine is 80 years old this year, but he doesn't look much different from 40 years old. Think about it. When we went out on missions, did we ever meet a guy who lived to 130 years old and was still in good health? That's not a human. That's a human demon, Hu Mei said. Furthermore, didn't he die a miserable death in the end? Using those demonic methods to obtain that strange power, one must pay a price. Sir, is this considered a trick? This is not the case, Zhong Luchuan said. Using medicine to nourish the body has been recorded in ancient times. Those famous ancient doctors, such as Li Shizhen and Sun Simiao, did so. This is a normal, reasonable, and scientific method. Senior brother, you really know a lot. When I have nothing to do, I like to read some books, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. I read a little more about Taoist scriptures and medicine. He didn't have much to do at home. The money he earned in the early years was enough to support him and his sister. His daily life was mainly cultivation, and then he read. The books he read were more miscellaneous, and he read a little bit of everything. Therefore, he knew more than others. Is there anyone who can live forever? Don't worry about this issue, Zhong Luchuan said. You see, Sir's cultivation is so high. When did he ever discuss this with us? Excessive obsession is not a good thing. Isn't it good to be like this now? Good. Jia Zizai said good 3 times in a row. The 3 of them then separated and went home. Senior brother's cultivation is a little more profound, Hu Mei said as soon as they entered the house. Well, how did you know? Zhong Luchuan asked. You didn't do anything. It's just a feeling, Zhong Luchuan said. Didn't you hear what senior brother said just now? What? Jia Zizai asked. Why are you so vague when talking to your husband? Don't be stubborn, Hu Mei said. Let nature take its course. Senior brother is better than us, not in the length of practice, but in the improvement of the state of mind. I didn't pay too much attention to it, Jia Zizai said. If it was not an enemy, he would not pay too much attention to it. What did Sir give us to drink? Jia Zizai asked. I still feel that my body is full of power, and this power is not so violent. It is gentle and continuous. It is penetrating into my bones and internal organs. Didn't Sir say that this medicine can calm the 5 internal organs, strengthen the muscles and bones, and open the 9 orifices? Don't waste time, Zhong Luchuan said. Let's start practicing. In the clinic, Wang Yao packed up and went out alone. He went up Nanshan Hill. In the afternoon, several people came to see the doctor. They saw a sign hanging on the wooden door. Hey, is he not at home? I should have checked his Weibo. 2 people were unwilling to give up and waited for a while. Jia Zizai, who had finished his cultivation, came out full of energy and walked around. He looked carefully to make sure that none of the people wanted to cause trouble, and none of them were seriously ill. Then, he went up Dongshan Mountain with Hu Mei. The medicinal power is too strong, Jia Zizai said. Did you add 1,000-year-old ginseng or some kind of treasure in it? He had been able to feel the obvious medicinal power since he had taken a medicine in the morning. It should be made of unusual herbs, Hu Mei said. Ordinary medicine can't achieve such an effect. After the 2 of them went up the mountain, they saw Zhong Luchuan under a stone. He stayed at home for a while and felt that it was better to go up the mountain, so he went up Dongshan Hill without eating lunch. After hearing the footsteps of the 2 people, he looked up at them and continued to practice. Senior, you are not a good friend, Hu Mei said. Why didn't you call us when you came up? Zhong Luchuan just smiled. Well, let's start. The 2 of them chose the place where they often meditated and began to guide the breathing. Although it was already spring, and some trees on the mountain were already green, the mountain wind was still a little cold. The 3 of them sat quietly on the mountain with the cold wind blowing. In the sky, the sun was a little lazy. Were there a few naughty birds flying by? Time passed slowly. The three of them sat there quietly until the sun set in the west. A huge lion-like dog suddenly came out from behind a row of trees and went up the mountain. It stopped not far from them, tilted its head, and looked at them quietly. "Sansien, come here." Jiazizai waved to the big dog. The dog stared at him and wagged its tail. It stayed in place and did not move. "I don't want to talk to you," Humei said with a smile. "Come here, Sansien." Sansien slowly walked towards the door. "No way." The dog went to Jiazizai and sniffed. It then went to Humei and sniffed. Finally, it came to Zhong Luchuan, who was under the stone, and sniffed. "Hello, Sansien." Zhong Luchuan smiled and scratched its neck. After the dog circled around them, it turned back to the Nanshan forest. "Is this dog psychic?" "Well, maybe it is smarter than you," Humei said with a smile. "Well, I'm almost done." Jiazizai got up and moved. His body was still warm, but the heat had basically been absorbed. It was clear that the medicine on the surface had been absorbed. It would continue to work for a period of time to improve their bodies. "I'm also done," Humei said. "Let's go down the mountain." "Senior? You guys go back first," Humei said. "I'll stay here for a while." "Okay, we'll go first." The two of them went down the mountain together. Zhong Luchuan was still sitting under the stone. He closed his eyes and breathed, guiding the Neishi in his body to constantly circulate and circulate. The sky gradually darkened. He sat there quietly. In the sky, the waning moon was like. The moonlight was cold, sprinkling on the mountain and shining on his body. The night wind was cold. Hiss! Phew! His body rose and fell slightly. His whole person seemed to have entered a special state. He forgot about the world and himself. The cycle repeated. It was late at night. On Nanshan Hill, there was a dim yellow. Chapter 991. The light went out, but he was still sitting there until late at night. He didn't know what time it was. He opened his eyes and brightened his spirit. He got up and slowly went down the mountain. The next morning, he showered away, and his mother came to the clinic again to say goodbye to Wang Yao. The last time they came, Wang Yao told them that they could go back to Jing to recuperate. However, they were still worried and insisted on staying for a few days to receive Wang Yao's treatment. The effect was naturally very good. "Thank you so much this time," he Xiaorui said. "You're welcome," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Thank you, Dr. Wang," he Xiaorui said. He Xiaorui took the initiative to express his gratitude. His body was better, his spirit was better, and his personality had changed. "You're welcome. Go back and recuperate well. It won't be long before you can live a normal life. You can play basketball and run." "Well, I already have a new life plan," he Xiaorui said. In the past, he was just a flower in a greenhouse. He couldn't bear to see the wind and rain outside. Now he wanted to see the wonderful world outside. He wanted to play basketball, run, swim, climb mountains, and walk around. He could also go back to school to start studying and making some new friends. He was full of desire for the wonderful life in the future. "Thank you." Thinking of this, he looked at each other and bowed deeply. "Dr. Wang, if you go to Jing again, be sure to visit our home," he Xiaorui's mother said sincerely. "Okay." Wang Yao nodded with a smile. When the mother and son went out, they happened to meet Guo Zhenghe, who was there to see a doctor. "Auntie, Xiaorui, are you here to see a doctor?" "Yes, I'm here to see Dr. Wang, to see Xiaorui." "Zhenghe, why are you here?" The woman was also very surprised. As far as she knew, the son of the Guo family should be working in a county in the south. Why was he here? "Hello, brother." "Hello. I'm here to see Dr. Wang for some personal matters." "Has Xiaorui recovered?" "He's almost recovered," Guo Zhenghe said. "The next step is to go back to recuperate." "That's really good." "Is Xiaorui happy?" "Yes," the teenager said. "Then we'll go first." "Auntie, goodbye, Xiaorui." "Goodbye, brother." Guo Zhenghe watched the mother and son leave. "I didn't expect him to be able to cure such an illness." "What illness?" Su Xingyuan asked softly. "That child has a rare osteogenesis imperfecta, or brittle bone disease, which is commonly known as glass man. His physique is very poor, and he is prone to injuries. Fractures are common. His family went to many places and saw many famous doctors, both domestic and foreign, for his strange illness, but none of them worked. At that time, his condition. No, it should be said that his body became worse. His family had already given up hope. Unexpectedly, the person inside cured him of this terrible disease. Guo Zhenghe pointed inside. That disease, I remember it's a congenital disease, right? Yes, it's congenital. Can all congenital diseases be treated? Su Xingyuan was very surprised. If he could detoxify a rare poison that couldn't be cured by other places, it was already very surprising. Now, he could even cure a congenital disease. Relatively speaking, this was more extensive. Can he also cure cancer? Su Xingyuan suddenly asked. Well, maybe he can. Such a person, young master should. Before he could finish, he was interrupted by Guo Zhenghe with a hand gesture. They had already entered the clinic. Are you still busy, sir? Fortunately, I just finished, Wang Yao said. He had heard the conversation between the two people outside. I know the two people who just came, Guo Zhenghe said. They are people from Jing and can be considered as old neighbors. Is that so? What a coincidence. How's the treatment of Xiao Rui's illness? It's done, Wang Yao said. He just needs to go back and recuperate. Sir, your medical skills are really amazing, Guo Zhenghe said. They have seen so many doctors over the years, but none of them could cure him. You flatter me, Wang Yao said. He really didn't want to listen to these polite words. Moreover, he didn't have a good impression of Guo Zhenghe. He stood there and said those words to him. He was completely the kind of person who was looking for something to talk about. He never liked compliments, especially those that were not sincere. The two of you don't have any major problems, Wang Yao said. Go back and recuperate by yourself. Is that so? Yes. Sir, I have a presumptuous request, Guo Zhenghe said. Go ahead. Sir, can you transfer the antidote to me? Wang Yao was stunned. He didn't expect Guo Zhenghe to come here with such an unreasonable request. Sorry, I can't. He directly refused. Sir, I'm not doing this for personal gain, Guo Zhenghe said. You know, I don't need to do this. I know, but I can't do this, Wang Yao said firmly. The reason why the antidote could be so effective was that it used licorice roots. If it were other herbs, it definitely wouldn't have such an effect. There was only one shop, and there were no other branches. How could he transfer such a thing? I'm sorry, sir. I went too far. It doesn't matter, Wang Yao said with a smile. His tone was already very cold. Goodbye, sir. Take care. I won't see you out, Wang Yao said. The two of them went out of the clinic. After leaving the clinic, Su Xingyuan said, Sir, you shouldn't have said those words. I'm not doing it for personal gain, Guo Zhenghe said. I know. With young master's family background, there's no need for that, but you're trying to make up for it. You're trying to give yourself extra points, right? Su Xingyuan said. His words were rather straightforward, or perhaps a little too much. Yes. Guo Zhenghe didn't evade or get angry. He directly admitted that he did think so. Originally, his resume in He County was very good. In the past 2 years, he had done a lot of things. The data in He County had improved a lot in all aspects. It could be said that it was very eye-catching. However, the several vicious incidents that had happened in the past few months had directly wiped out all the eye-catching data. No matter how beautiful the targets were in a place, it was not good to have accidents every day. Safety was the first priority. The person inside may not know. Guo Zhenghe was stunned. Sir, to put it bluntly, you are a genius. Isn't the person inside also a genius? Yes. Guo Zhenghe's body shook. He raised his hand and patted Su Xingyuan's shoulder. Uncle Su is right, Guo Zhenghe said. I still think too highly of myself. Sir, you are indeed in a high position and have the right to be proud, but he didn't continue. When it came to home, he was just a servant of the Guo family. Although some words were harsh to the ear, it also depended on who he said it to and the way he said it. Let's go back to hike. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in a valley of thousands of medicine, in the largest wooden house in the middle, there were a few sticks of incense and smoke. Miaoshi River sat cross-legged with his eyes closed. Chief, a person's voice came from outside. Come in. Xiaohe is awake. How is he? Very good, Better than we expected. Is that so? Let's go and have a look. Miaoshi River got up. Out of the stockade, they came to the mountain along the rugged mountain road. After walking for more than 10 miles, they came to a very hidden cave. The entrance of the cave was very low. A river flowed out of the entrance of the cave. There was no way in. The two of them went into the water and swam into the cave. After about 10 feet, it suddenly became wide. Large rocks appeared in front of them. The two of them climbed up the rocks from the water. It was not dark in the cave because there was light coming in from several holes above. There are also torches burning. Who is it? It's me, Chief. The cave was very wide. There were 5 or 6 people in it. Chief. They bowed when they saw Miaoshi River. Xiaohe. Chief. Let me have a look. Miaoshi River walked to the side of a child who looked to be in his teens. He bent down and looked carefully. The child's skin was very smooth, and his eyes were very bright. Good, very good, Miaoshi River praised. Chapter 992. Come on, try it. Miaoshi River took a small wooden tripod and put it in front of the young man. He opened the lid. There were some very scary poisonous insects inside. They kept rolling and biting, making trembling sounds. Don't be afraid. I'm not afraid. The young man put his hand into the wooden tripod without hesitation. A magical thing happened. The insects in the wooden tripod seemed to be very afraid of the breath in his hand. They didn't dare to come close. They hid everywhere. The place where his finger fell formed an area of vacuum. As expected, Miaoshi River was very pleased. Knife. A person immediately handed him a sharp knife. He wiped it repeatedly. Xiaohe, I want to take some of your blood. It won't hurt. Okay, Chief. The young man was not afraid at all. Miaoshi River gently cut his wrist and let out half a bowl of blood. It's done. He quickly applied ointment on the wound. Soon, the bleeding stopped and the wound healed. Xiaohe, tell me the truth. Do you feel uncomfortable anywhere in your body? No, I'm fine, the young man said. Is it because you don't want to stay here? Yes, I'm used to it, the young man said. Bear with it. It won't be long before you can leave. Miaoshi River held him in his arms and comforted him softly. It's okay, Chief. The young man was very sensible. Good, good. Miaoshi River nodded hard. He was very pleased. He accompanied the young man and talked for a while. Xiaohe, let's go out and walk around. He led the young man out from another path. This was an extremely dangerous path. In the depths of the cave, it was almost a hole in the cliff, leading directly to a cave halfway up the mountain. If it was an ordinary person, even with the help of a rope, it would be very difficult to get in and out. This was because this was not just a problem of the cliff. There were also a large number of strange insects like centipedes on the cliff. Just by their ferocious appearance, they were highly poisonous. Come, I'll carry you. I can do it myself. Come on. Miaoshi River carried the young man on his back and climbed up the steep cliff like an agile monkey. In the blink of an eye, they arrived at the entrance of the cave halfway up the mountain. The sun was shining brightly, even a little dazzling. Under the sunlight, the young man looked no more than 20 years old. His face was ruddy and his eyes were bright. He looked up at the blue sky and was lost in thought for a long time. Xiaohe, I'm going to read a paragraph from a medical book. Remember it well, Miaoshi River said. All right, patriarch. Miaoshi River then began to recite. His voice was not loud, and he spoke very slowly. His words were very clear. He repeated one sentence after another 3 times. How is it? How much have you remembered? I've memorized everything, the young man said. Is that so? Recite it for me, Miaoshi River said. Xiaohe immediately recited it once. It was very smooth, and not a single word was missing. Good, very good. When you're free, think about what's inside. It's good for you. Yes, patriarch, the young man said. The old man and the young man sat halfway up the mountain and quietly looked into the distance. After a long time, the young man stood up. Let's go down, patriarch. It's been too long. They should be worried. Well, okay. Miaoshi River looked at the young man with mixed feelings. He was too obedient and cooperative. How good would it be if he was his son? The two of them went down the cliff and went back into the cave. Xiaohe, I'll come again tomorrow. Take care, patriarch. The young man watched Miaoshi River leave the cave. After diving out and confirming that there was no one around, the two of them came out of the water and went into the forest. Xiaohe's a good child, Miaoshi River said. Yes, he is very obedient and cooperative, which surprised and gratified us. Patriarch, you didn't take care of him for nothing all these years, the middle-aged man next to him said. Feng Xing, if something happens to me this time, the stockade will depend on you in the future, Miaoshi River stopped and said to the man next to him. Patriarch, why did you suddenly say that? The stockade can't do without you. The middle-aged man hurriedly said. Feng Xing, I have never treated you as an outsider, Miaoshi River said. I even treat you as half my son. This time, the disturbance outside is too big. Some people are very dissatisfied. I'm afraid that the peaceful life in our stockade will come to an end. Recently, more and more people came to the stockade. The people from the outside brought in things from the outside world, and the people in the stockade were against it. However, this was only temporary. It was the inherent traditions of the stockade that bound them. Sooner or later, someone would accept it because the things from the outside world were too exciting and too corrosive. If one person accepted it, there would be a second and a third. It was like a dam bursting. Once a hole was opened, it would be too difficult to block it again. Sooner or later, the dam would burst, and by then, there would be earth-shattering changes. At that time, people's hearts would change, and the stockade would not be so easy to control. I didn't expect that the old patriarch's words back then would come true in my hands. Miaoshi River stretched out his right hand. He tried hard to stop and protect it, but he was helpless. When the general trend came, it was like a surging river. He could not stop it. He could not stop it. What he was protecting would change sooner or later. When the two of them walked into the stockade, they saw a group of outsiders. There were 4 men and 2 women carrying backpacks. They were looking at the paradise with joy and curiosity. Look, they're here again. Miaoshi River pointed at them. Bring them to see me, Miaoshi River said. Yes, the middle-aged man next to him said. In Miaoshi River's house, in the wooden house, 6 young outsiders looked around curiously. This old wooden house, and the middle-aged man sitting in the seat of honor, was also staring at them. There were many rumors about the patriarch of the paradise on the internet. It was said that he was a firm guardian of the stockade's policy of isolation from the outside world. He had done a lot of bad things in the stockade. He was a local tyrant and was not a good person. Hello, welcome to our stockade, Miaoshi River said with a smile. Ah, the situation seems to be different from what the rumors said. The few of them looked at each other. To be honest, they were still on tenterhooks when they came in. Thank you. Hello, Chief Meow. Do you know me? There are many rumors about you on the internet. Oh, what do they say? Miaoshi River asked with a smile. Well, it's not anything good, the man who was the leader of the 6 people said with a smile. To be honest, I really don't welcome outsiders like you, Miaoshi said. Can you tell me why? This is such a good place. If more people come, it will definitely bring you a lot of income. Moreover, the road here is so bad. It's not convenient for you to go out, right? We are not that desperate for money, Miaoshi River said. We live here and can be self-sufficient. It doesn't matter if the road is bad, because we basically don't go out. You may think that our life is very isolated and backward, but we think that our life is very comfortable and very happy. If you don't believe me, you can ask around. I can't guarantee that everyone will say so, but more than 95% of people will think so. But do you want to live like this forever? Then why did you come here? Why do you think this place is good? Is it because of the words paradise, right? Yes, there are no factories, no cars, no smoke, and no hustle and bustle here. There is only nature, the most primitive nature, which is intoxicating. You are used to life in a big city, Miaoshi River said. You will be surprised when you encounter a place like our stockade. You will like it and yearn for it. But think about it. If we open up and build roads, we will still be like this. I estimate that in less than 10 years, this place will change a lot. There will be factories, cars, bars, restaurants, and it will not be so quiet and so natural. It will be like Lijiang Old City. Have you been out? Yes, And I have been to more than one place, Miaoshi River said with a smile. Chapter 993. You just want to keep this place in its original state? One of the girls asked. Original state? Well, you can think of it that way, Miaoshi River said. I really want to keep this place the way it is now. Not only in terms of nature, but also in terms of culture and life. I don't want too many changes. Once changes happen, it will be difficult to restore it to its original state. Recently, there should be a lot of rumors about our stockade outside. There should be a lot of misunderstandings. There are indeed a lot of rumors, and most of them are not good, the tall young leader said. I understand that, Miaoshi River said. But, Chief Miao, there are still people in the stockade who want to see the outside world. After they came in, they talked to several people. There were still people who secretly yearned for the outside life, in their words, especially the young people. Yes, after you came in, you brought things from the outside world, Miaoshi River said. Curiosity is human nature. I understand that. Through the conversation, the 5 people had a new understanding of the old man at the helm of the ancient stockade. He was indeed conservative, but his purpose was not what the rumors said. Therefore, they expressed their opinions on the internet, and there was soon a response. People said that they had been bribed and did not understand the actual situation at all. Most of these people have never been here. They're just making things up. The young leader pointed to some news or posts on the internet. Someone deliberately slandered this place and Chief Miao. He must have offended someone. We only know a little. Although we talked to Chief Miao, we still don't know him well. Maybe what he said is not necessarily true, and it is not necessarily from the heart. Well, yes. Think about it. This stockade is so isolated. Why didn't he tell us about the strange things that happened to the first batch of people who went in a while ago? He didn't explain too much. It's very likely that this matter has something to do with him. We posted this post to express our opinions. They can say whatever they want. We don't have to continue to insist. Yes, you are right, but that place is really beautiful, especially the soothing lake of the gods under the sunset. It is as beautiful as a fairy tale. Beautiful places are always desirable. They were discussing the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, thousands of miles away in Lianshan County, in the mountain village. Can you see if my illness can be cured? A middle-aged man asked. He came to see a doctor, and the common disease was baldness. It can be treated, but there are some habits you have to change, Wang Yao said. There are many reasons for baldness, such as emotions, the stimulation of drugs, nutritional imbalance, and so on. The person in front of him had an imbalance of yin and yang in his body, causing problems with the circulation of his qi and blood. This was reflected in his hair, which was why he had a tendency to lose his hair. Gradually, he became bald. What kind of habit? Tell me. Hearing that he could cure his sudden illness, he hurriedly said, You like meat, right? Yes. In the future, eat less greasy food. Eat a light diet. Quit smoking and drinking as much as possible. Wait, does smoking have anything to do with baldness? Wang Yao asked in surprise. Ha ha. If the butterfly here flaps its wings, there will be a typhoon on the other side of the ocean. Smoking is a very harmful thing to the body. Quitting smoking will only be good for you, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll quit, the man agreed. I'll prescribe you another medicine, Wang Yao said. He thought for a moment and wrote a prescription. It was mainly to regulate yin and yang, nourish yin, and calm the mind. In fact, he had a simpler method, which was to dilute the muscle revitalization powder and spray it on his head. There was an 80% to 90% chance that he would be able to grow a head of hair in a few days. However, the medicinal herb was too precious. It was a waste to use it on this kind of illness. Dr. Wang, how long will it take for the medicine to take effect? If you pay attention to your lifestyle and do what I've told you, you should be able to see the effects of the medicine after a month. Oh, that's good. That's good. There are not many people who specifically went to the doctor to prescribe medicine because of baldness. Not long after the man left, a person from the village hurried to the clinic. Yao, help me deal with this quickly. A man in his 40s clutched his arm. His right arm was red and blisters had already formed on it. Were you scalded by boiling water? Ah, I accidentally knocked over the thermos, the middle-aged man said. The water that was just boiled is very painful. My whole arm is burning. Wait a moment. Wang Yao went to the side and took out a small spoonful of muscle revitalization powder. He diluted it with cold water and gently applied it on the patient's arm. The middle-aged man only felt that his arm was cold. The burning pain was reduced by half in an instant. Yao, what medicine is this? It's so magical. The man was surprised. It's herbal medicine. Wang Yao smiled. This medicine was made with licorice roots, and it was the prescription provided by the system. Naturally, it was very magical. It's done. After applying it evenly, Wang Yao bandaged the man's arm with gauze. Wang Yao stood up and said, "It's done?" The man was stunned. "Yes, be careful not to touch it. I'll change the medicine for you in the afternoon tomorrow." "Okay, thank you." The man paid the consultation fee and left. Maybe I should try to decoct an ordinary ointment. Through this patient, Wang Yao thought of some problems. He called Zheng Weijun. Common medicine, scalding medicine. Of course, it's common medicine. Yes. Okay, I'll arrange for someone to do it right away. Zheng Weijun immediately took action after hanging up the phone. He carried out the question Wang Yao had asked him on the phone. Common medicine was the kind that was used in large quantities in the market. The medicine was popular all over the world. If there was a curative effect, there would be a reputation. With reputation and a little operation, there would naturally be a market. Common medicine was a breakthrough for how quickly reputation spread. That afternoon, Zheng Weijun came over in the evening. "Sir, I asked someone to count these. Cardiovascular medicine." Looking at the list, Wang Yao glanced at it and found that the amount of medicine was very large. It was almost second only to common medicine for colds and fevers. Yes, according to the latest statistics, this kind of disease has been the #1 killer of humans for several years in a row, and there is a trend of younger people being affected. Our country has a large population base. There are especially many patients with high blood pressure, high blood lipids, and myocardial infarction. Take some time to go to the hospital. Basically, every relevant department is full of people, Zheng Weijun said. He was in the field of medicine. In the past, he often dealt with people in the hospital and knew a lot about the situation inside. Well, in that case, the medicine in this area should be very popular. Do you mean the medicine for cardiovascular medicine? Yes, Wang Yao said. Of course, it's popular, Zheng Weijun said. The premise was that it had to be effective. In this regard, he had absolute trust in the young man in front of him. It was almost blind. The effect of the primordial spirit soup was very good. It was now very popular. The supply could not meet the demand. Many places wanted to increase the price of the medicine. There were even scalpers. The heat-clearing powder had also been produced in large quantities. The first batch had been sent out. There was already a response, saying that the effect was good. The trial production of the detoxification pill had been successful. It was ready to be produced in large quantities. It seemed that the pharmaceutical company would soon be able to make a profit on a large scale. I'll think about the prescription, Wang Yao said. What you have to think about now is the medicinal herbs. We need to have our own wild medicinal herb base. I've been thinking about this recently. I've already communicated with several big pharmaceutical companies in the South. They promise to provide the best medicinal herbs. This is the first step to ensure that we can produce them now. At the same time, I've inspected a wild medicinal herb base in southern Huanan. Southern Huanan is a bit far from here, Wang Yao said. It was thousands of miles away from Lianshan County. It was indeed a bit far, but there were many mountains that were suitable for the growth of some wild medicinal herbs. Chapter 994. I have some connections there, Zheng Weijun said. The relevant procedures are easy to handle. Besides, transportation is so convenient now. It'll be fast. He wanted to build a large wild herb cultivation base in Qi province. But he wasn't particularly familiar with this place, and the cost of land in Qi province was relatively higher than in Huanan. He didn't have that much money in his hands. Next, I'm going to continue to build our own wild herb cultivation base in the 3 eastern provinces near Qi province. Okay, I won't interfere in this aspect, Zheng Weijun said. It's still the same requirement. The herbs must be guaranteed. Don't worry about that, Zheng Weijun said with a smile. There will be no problem. After staying in the clinic for a while, Zheng Weijun left. In a villa in Hike City. Young master, are you looking for me? Everything in Dianan is ready. We can proceed to the second step. Guo Jinghe poured a cup of tea for Su Xinyuan. So soon? There's no time to lose, Guo Jinghe said after taking a sip of tea. Okay, I'll prepare the follow-up work right away. Uncle Su. When Su Xinyuan walked to the door, he was stopped by Guo Jinghe. Young master, is there anything else? Be careful. You don't have to do everything yourself. Oh, don't worry. Su Xinyuan left. Begin. Guo Jinghe got up and looked out the window. He could see the sea in the distance. He had not returned to He County for more than 10 days. When the matter is completely resolved, it should be over there. On Nanshan Hill in the mountain village, Salvia militariza, Schisandra, Dendrobium, caterpillar fungus, Ganoderma lucidum, Panax nodo ginseng. Wang Yao was trying to develop a medicine that could open the blood vessels and calm the mind. It was mainly aimed at cardiovascular diseases. If he could use licorice roots, such as ziyu and everlasting grass, the effect would be better. However, the amount of medicine used in large-scale production was too large. Sigh. He suddenly thought of another method. Then, he picked up the phone and called Zheng Weijun directly. Wait a moment. Okay. I'll think about it and get back to you. Zheng Weijun was obviously very interested in the matter on the other end of the phone. On the other side, Wang Yao wrote down the medicinal herbs that he had chosen. There were some that were not enough. You can make less this time. Sorting, baking, crushing, and sifting, the whole morning passed by unknowingly. In the afternoon, the clinic received patients as usual. There were a few ordinary patients. Most of them had common illnesses such as back pain and colds. In the evening, Zhong Luchuan, Jia Zizai, and Humei came to the clinic. Sir, how do you feel? Good, very good. It couldn't be better, Jia Zizai replied. For the past few days, they have been coming here every other day to take medicine. Wang Yao had specially brewed medicine for them to strengthen their muscles and bones. After taking 7 sets of medicine in a row, they felt that their bodies were full of energy all day long. They did not feel tired and were full of energy. Come, let me take a look. Wang Yao checked their pulses. Well, the efficacy of the medicine is weakening. As they continued to take the medicine, the effects of the medicine on their bodies would decrease with each increment. It was impossible for the medicine to strengthen their bodies without a limit. Otherwise, they would really become supermen who were invulnerable to weapons, water, and fire. Well, let's stop taking medicine for a while and see. Oh, okay. The 4 of them drank tea and chatted in the clinic for a while. When it was close to evening, Zheng Weijun rushed over. He seemed to like to come at this time. Sir, I have carefully considered what you said, Zheng Weijun said. There is no problem. In the phone call that day, Wang Yao proposed to make some high-level medicine as a branch of Nanshan Pharmaceutical. It was like the difference between ordinary customers and VIP customers. The quantity of the medicine was very small because the production of the medicine might use licorice roots. The main materials were also herbs from the herbal field on Nanshan Hill. The procedure makes sense, right? Zheng Weijun asked. Yes, we considered this when we registered, Zheng Weijun said. Well, that's good, Zheng Weijun said. How about this? It's still Nanshan Pharmaceutical, but add the words Nanshan Medical Center on it. You do the specific packaging details. As for the medicine, I will make the first batch by myself. Okay, Zheng Weijun hurriedly said. When he left the medical center, Zheng Weijun was very happy. Ordinary medicine and high-efficacy medicine complemented each other. He was full of expectations and confidence for the future of Nanshan Pharmaceutical. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Miaoshi River quietly looked outside. The few people standing next to him were all his confidants. They were absolutely loyal. That day, something big had happened in the stockade. Another person had died. It was a soldier with a gun. Drug enforcement? Yes, he was chasing after drug traffickers. Miao Qingfeng said. That was the news that came in from outside. Do you believe it? Miaoshi River calmly asked. As far as I know, in the past 30 years, no drug traffickers have dared to take this road, Zheng Weijun said. Other than this year, no outsider has ever taken this road. Yes, we all know what is in the jungle, Zheng Weijun said. Going means death. There is usually a fixed route for that kind of thing. It is not easy to change it. According to the information we have, it is definitely a longer route if they take us, Zheng Weijun said. The route is several times more dangerous. Even if a new route is opened, they will not take this route. In fact, it had happened. The drug traffickers had entered their stockade and left a lot of contraband. A soldier had died there. It was like yellow mud falling into one's pants. Even if it was not sh*t, it was sh*t. They could not get rid of this suspicion. More troublesome things might happen. Soon, there was a problem. The public security department began to intervene. They entered the stockade and began to investigate. This was a big incident. I have to go out, Miaoshi River said. I will go with you, Miao Qingfeng hurriedly said. Okay. They went out in a hurry. They went to a few places and returned to the stockade 2 days later. Miaoshi River's face became a bit gloomy. He had not been like this for many years. It was because he had received very bad news. They had caught the drug traffickers and confessed that the stockade was their transit point. A transit point. This meant that the stockade was related to this major crime. There was no evidence yet, but it had been verified. Chief, this is a conspiracy. Yes, Miaoshi River said. Anyone with a brain knew that this must be a conspiracy. It was a huge conspiracy against their stockade, or a huge conspiracy against them. The network of people outside the stockade did not work. Those people kept it a secret and chose to retreat. No one was willing to help. It showed how serious the problem was. Sigh, after all, it is just a rootless duckweed. Miaoshi River sighed. Chief, there is some progress. Is it the Guo family? Yes, it is them. Where is Mr. Guo now? He is still in Hike. Still there? Yes, his father is also in Qi province, Miao Qingfeng said. Can you find out where he is? Yes. I want to see Mr. Guo. The next day, Miaoshi River packed up and went north. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao was making pills. He had already prepared the herbs. He sifted and selected carefully. He sprinkled the powder. He sprayed the juice. Then he tilted the medicine board. He repeated the process again and again. The pills and the medicine board kept getting bigger and bigger. In the end, they became the size of corn grain. He had also thought of a name for the medicine. It was called Peace of Mind Pill. There were 2 types of medicine. One was the common type. The other type of medicine was added to the decoction made with ziyu and everlasting grass. This was another type of medicine made by Nanshan Medical Center. Soon, a few bottles of pills were made. They were taken away by Guo Weijun in the afternoon. He needed to go through the relevant procedures and tests. That day, Miaoshi River arrived in Hike in the evening. Master, Miaoshi River should have arrived in Hike. Yes, Uncle Su. Thank you for your hard work. You're welcome. This is what I should do, Su Xingyuan said. Where do you think he will go after coming to Hike? He should go to the village to see Dr. Wang. Yes, and then find a way to find me. I think so. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.